Hi, this is Roger Moore, and you're listening to James Bond Radio.
Hello, and welcome to the 2018 edition of the Grand Annual Bumper Bond Boxing Day Quiz. My name is Tom Sears, and I'm joined, as usual, by my intrepid partner in Bondian crime, Mr. Christopher Wright. Say hello, Chris.
Hello, Chris.
How you doing, buddy? Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas to you as well. And how was your Christmas day?
I don't know yet because we're recording this a little bit before Christmas Day, so I don't know whether I've got any presents or anything yet.
I thought you were going to play on it. I thought you were going to play on it.
I'm predicting I'm going to get some brilliant presents this year, but I'm just putting that out into the universe. Hopefully, the universe sends it back.
Any Bond-related presents in your vision for the future?
You know what? It's tricky because obviously we do a lot of traveling, so we have to live a minimal life, really. So that's the reason why there hasn't been a lot of that in recent times. But I tell you what, though, when I get settled in the UK next year, I'm going balls out on my Bondian man cave. I've got my Roger Moore Live and Let Die figurines on order.
Nice.
I'm going the full 3 set. I'm having Samedi, I'm having Solitaire, I'm having Bond. He's going to go on my desk. I've got my Funko Pops. I'm not messing about. I've been minimal for 3 years now, and now I'm going to be maximal. I'm going all the other way. I'm going maximum bondage all the way, mate. Yeah.
Nice. Love it, man. Love it. So this must be, obviously we're coming up to our 5th anniversary next February. Yeah. So this must be our 4th Bumper Boxing Day quiz, which is pretty exciting, really.
It is, isn't it? Yeah. Are we going to run out of questions eventually, do you think? Because it's
You know what? I was coming up with some questions thinking now, has this been answered? But not just Bumper Boxing Day questions that have come up within the space of the podcast over the last 4 or 5 years. And it is hard to come up with questions. So listeners, we do apologise if one or two creep in that you may have heard already. But then it's a bonus for you guys because you get like a freebie, don't you? You get a free mark here or a free mark there. So everyone's a winner.
Do you have a system for coming up with your questions? Because I'll tell you what I do. What I do is I usually go onto YouTube and I just type in random Bond keywords. So I might type in Thunderball and I'll be like, okay, there's a random Thunderball scene. I'll look at that one, see what happens. Is there any questions I can get out of that? So it takes me, I'd say it probably took me a good 3 hours to compile my questions for today. So that's how I get my inspiration. Sometimes, like when it comes to like the book categories and stuff, I do some different stuff. But what about you? Do you have a system?
It's, I guess, kind of similar, really, and it does take longer than one might think. Yeah. It's not like you can just pluck them out of the air, is it? Yeah. I guess I try and play some of the films in my head a little bit and think what scenes might be good or what little moments might be usable. It's good, but it is tough. It's not easy. It is tough, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
And it gets tougher each time. But so what we're going to do this year. So last year, I think we did rankings around vehicles or cars, and obviously we've had Bond girls, I think, before, and obviously Bond characters. This year, the ranking system is going to be on henchmen and henchwomen.
Lovely.
So, would you like to hear our rankings?
I would love to.
Okay, so coming in at between 0 and 9 points. I don't know if anyone will get between 0 and 9.
I probably will this year. Yeah.
You have a choice. Now we're having a choice this year. You can go male or female in terms of the hench people. You can either be Stamper or the log cabin girl from The Spy Who Loved
Me. Poor old Stamper, man. Jesus Christ. He's not that bad, is he?
Maybe not, but I thought it was quite funny.
I do like that. I appreciate that. That's nice.
Okay. Next up, between 10 points and 19 points, you could either be Gobinder, or Miss Taro from Doctor
Very nice.
Who. So there we go. Between 20 and 29 points, you could be Dario or the machine gun wielding old lady from Goldfinger.
She's a classic. Yep, like it.
She's pretty cool. Between 30 and 39 points, you could be Necros or Valenka.
Nice.
Between 40 and 49, we're stepping up a notch here. You could be Mr. Hinks or Helga Brandt. Very good. Between 50 and 59, you get to choose between Knick Knack or Naomi.
Ooh, they're delightful. Yeah.
Very nice. Between 60 and 69, either Winton Kid or Bambi and Thumper. 70 and 79, either Tee-Hee, Baron Samedi or Irma Bunt. So you get a 3-way choice there. And now if you get up to 80 to 89 points, you're reaching the top end now. This is impressive stuff if you reach this. You could get to choose between Red Grant or Fiona Volpe.
Oh, very nice.
Two more to go here. Okay, so 90 to 95 points. Now this is the echelon. This is the elite. If you get to this sort of level, you can get to choose between Jaws, Xenia Onatop, or Fatima Blush.
Very nice.
And finally, if in some crazy instance you get to score between 96 and 100 points, I mean, really, you should be hosting the show, not us, to be honest. Isn't that right, Tom?
Yeah, absolutely.
And if you do get to reach that amazing score, you get to choose between Odd Job or Mayday. So there we go.
Very nice. All right, good stuff. Some good pairings there. I like it. And it's nice that they can have a choice as well, you know. And I feel like you don't have to stick within the boundaries of your gender. It's 2018 now. If you want, if you're a gentleman and you fancy being Valenka, then you should feel free to. And likewise, if you're a lady and you fancy being Jaws, you know, you got to know your stuff, obviously. But you know, to reach the Jaws category. But why not? Absolutely. All right, so I think it's time, Chris, to get cracking on the quiz. Now, for anybody who's not done this before, here's how we play it. Here's what happens. We basically have 10 categories, don't we, with 10 questions within each. So that makes 100 total questions, right? And they range in category from the Connery category, the Lazenby category, the Moore category, and so on through the Bonds. We've also got the Ian Fleming category. We've got, what else have we got? We've got the general knowledge round, we've got the music round, and we've got the guess the quote round as well. So,
which is always a belter, that
indeed,
one. I do like that one.
It is a beauty. It is a beauty. And I must say, I've got some doozies for you this year, mate. Merry Christmas. Absolutely.
Thanks, man. Okay, well, I'm going to jump in and say that I am going to start because I think definitely last year you started. I'm pretty sure maybe every quiz you've started first. So this year, I'm going to jump in there and say, Tom, are you ready to start this year's Bumper Boxing Day JBR quiz?
Ready.
That's so good. Okay, I was not expecting that. So the first round is on Sir Sean Connery. Question 1, Mr. Tom Sears. On what date did Bond steal the Lecter decoding machine?
Oh, Jesus Christ above.
On what? I'll say that again for listeners at home as well. Question 1 is, on what date did Bond steal the Lecter decoding machine? Okay. On to question 2. How much does Goldfinger offer the American gangsters if they wait an extra day for their money? So question 2 is, how much does Goldfinger offer the American gangsters if they wait an extra day for their money? Okay, on to question 3. Which city is the target of Spectre's stolen atomic missiles in Thunderball? So that's which city is the target of Spectre's stolen atomic missiles in Thunderball? Okay, on to question 4. Now, with this one, there are 2 answers, and you get a half mark for each. Okay, what are the 2 rules that Tiger Tanaka tells Bond when he takes his first civilized bath? So I'll say that again. What are the 2 rules that Tiger Tanaka tells Bond when he takes his first civilized bath? And a half mark for each. And then final question for the Sean Connery round on my behalf. What is the name of the gorilla sideshow in Circus Circus? So that is, what is Tom has got his pain face on at the moment. What is the name of the gorilla sideshow in Circus Circus? Okay. There are my Connery questions. Over to you, my friend.
All right, yes. Just to remind everybody following along at home, the way we do it, Chris does, for each category, Chris does 5 questions, I do 5 questions. We ask them, Chris will ask me the 5, then I'll ask Chris the 5, then we mark the 10 questions together. So we do the markings as we go. So I just thought we should mention that.
Cool.
All right, I've got a prediction that I'm probably going to have my worst year ever on this quiz.
Because, you say that every year.
I know, but today specifically, because I tell you why. Because I'd done most of my questions earlier, and I just had the last couple of categories to fill before we recorded. So I was kind of going through that, and as I'm trying to compose questions, I could not I couldn't remember the answers to the questions that I was coming up with. So for some reason, my brain isn't working well today. That's my story. I'm sticking with it.
That's your out the way.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Okay.
All
so
right.
here we go. Connery round. Tommy's questions. So question number 6.
Yes.
In Doctor No, Bond says, "Tell me, Miss Trench, do you play any other games? I mean, besides Chemin Fair." That was a bit too Roger Moore, that, but you know what I'm saying.
It was a bit. But yeah.
What is the other game that Miss Trench mentions? So Bond says to her, "Tell me, Miss Trench, do you play any other games? I mean, besides Chemin Fair. What is the other game she mentions?" Question number 7. In From Russia with Love, Bond's attaché case contains a folding sniper rifle. What is the model name of that sniper rifle? That is, in From Russia with Love, Bond's attaché case contains a folding sniper rifle. What is the model name of that sniper rifle? Question number 8. Goldfinger. In the Fontainebleau Miami hotel room scene, I'll start again. In the Miami... At the Fontainebleau Hotel in Goldfinger, which is in Miami, right? Goldfinger is playing a game of cards. What game of cards are they playing? What is the game? That's a long-winded way of saying it. I'll try and say that again so it makes sense. In the Fontainebleau card scene where Jill Masterson's on the balcony, you know the one, Goldfinger's playing a game of cards. What is the game that they are playing with those cards? Hint, it's not Snap, in case you were wondering. Question number 9, Sean Connery round. In From Russia with Love, M is listening to some audio of Bond quizzing Tanya. She says, "Tell me, James, am I as exciting as all those Western girls?" Bond starts to tell a story about how he and M had once had an interesting experience in a particular city before M hurriedly shuts off the tape recorder. Which city does Bond mention? That is, in From Russia with Love, M is listening to some audio of Bond quizzing Tanya. She says, "Tell me, James, am I as exciting as all those Western girls?" Bond starts to tell a story about how he and M had once had an interesting experience in a particular city before M shuts off the tape recorder. Which city does Bond mention? And the 10th and final question in the Sean Connery round is, when Professor Dent comes to murder Bond, what kind of gun has he brought to do the job? When Professor Dent comes to murder Bond, what kind of gun has he brought to do the job? Now, if you think about it, you can get that. That sounds difficult, but if you think about it, it's not that hard.
Okay, so everyone that's listening, hope you did well with all those 10 questions. We're now going to turn over with the answers. So, back to question 1. Mr. Tom Sears, on what date did Bond steal the Lecter decoding machine?
Was it the 13th?
Oh, yes it was.
Nice.
Lovely jubbly. So, get a lovely full mark for that. On to question 2. How much does Goldfinger offer the American gangsters if they wait an extra day for their money?
10 millions.
Yes! Lovely. Super.
What is the full quote? He says it could be 1 million today or tomorrow it's 10 millions. 10 millions tomorrow.
Yeah, that's it. Okay, question 3. What city is the target of Spectre's stolen atomic missiles in Thunderball?
I'm guessing it's London. I don't think that's right though, is it?
Well, early on, they do say that they're going to have a target will be a city in either United Kingdom or the United States.
Right.
But it's not a city in the United Kingdom. So there's a little hint, but I will give you another guess.
Is it Miami?
Yes, it is Miami.
All right,
Tom.
nice. That was
lovely.
Do you know what? That was my gut feeling, but then I thought, nah. So yeah, all right.
Then I thought that always go
do
with
I
your gut.
do I get half a point for that because that was a second go around, wasn't it?
Yeah, all right. I'll give you half a point then.
All right, cool.
I'll give you half a point. Okay, so that's good. Okay, question 4. What are the 2 rules that Tiger Tanaka tells Bond when he takes his first civilized bath? And I'll give you a half mark for each.
Shit. Men come first and women come second.
That's one of them, so you definitely get that.
And the other one,
The other one actually comes before. So rule number 2 is in Japan, men comes first, women come second. But there's a number 1 rule that comes before that.
Do you know, I'm going to hate myself when I hear it because I know that I know it, but my brain's not giving it to me at the moment.
Okay, this one is, Rule number 1 is never do anything for yourself when someone else can do it for you.
Nice. Oh. Yeah, that's great. I like that.
That's a good one.
It's a good rule to live by, actually. Good old Tiger.
It is. Yeah. I think it is. He's got some... he's got some skills, that man. Okay, final question. Question 5 for the Sean Connery round from me is, what is the name of the gorilla sideshow in Circus Circus? Obviously, in Diamonds Are Forever.
Yeah, again, I know that I know this, but my brain is not working for me with that.
I will give you the first letter, which is Z.
Nah, it's gone.
I'm trying to think of any words it rhymes with, but I can't think of any. Okay, so the answer to the gorilla sideshow in Circus Circus is Zambora.
Zambora, of course it is. All right, nicely
Zambora.
Done. All right, cool. Okie dokie. Should we move on to the Lazenby round, Chris?
Well, I think I have to answer yours.
Oh, yeah. Bollocks. Yeah, you do, don't you? Shit. I told you my brain wasn't working today.
Yeah. All right, let's do it.
All right, cool. Right. So question number 6 was in Dr. No. Bond says, tell me, Miss Trench, do you play any other games? I mean, besides Commander Fur. What is the game that she mentions?
I believe it is golf, amongst certain other things.
Perfect. Absolutely. 4 marks. Golf it is indeed.
Nice.
Which he's obviously doing a little bit of when he goes into his hotel room later. Or his apartment or whatever. Question number 7. In From Russia with Love, Bond's attaché case contains a folding sniper rifle. What is the name of that rifle?
Now, I think it is an folding AR-7 folding sniper's rifle.
Absolutely.
AR-7.
Top marks again. An AR-7 .25 caliber with an infrared telescopic sight.
I didn't get that bit.
That's all right. I only needed the AR-7. Indeed, it was the AR-7. Good stuff. Question number 8 was, in the Fontainebleau scene, what card game is Goldfinger playing?
Is it Gin Rummy?
It absolutely is. Well done. Nice. Full marks. And how do we know that?
Because he goes, this is really my day. Gin.
There
or something like that.
That's precisely it. You got it. And he's looking very happy with himself. Question number 9 was, in From Russia with Love, Em is listening to some audio of Bond quizzing Tanya. She says, tell me, James, the most exciting as also Western girls. Bond starts to tell a story about how he and Emma had once had an interesting experience in a particular city before Em shuts off the tape recorder. What city does he mention?
Oh, there was one time when Emma and I were in Tokyo.
That's the one. You got it.
Right? Yes.
Tokyo, indeed.
Nice.
I want to know that story, dude.
Oh, yeah.
Go on.
Yeah, well, so do I. Is that going to come out or not?
Because that begs the question, like, was Bond and M out on some kind of bender that night and they were, like, picking up the ladies and stuff like that? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because, you know...
I think if M ever had a chance to let his hair down, he would go for it. Like, he would so go for it,
Do you think... Because I don't know. I don't know whether he would or whether he'd be... For example, right... Say they were out and about, they ended up in a strip club. I could see M sitting in the corner being very uncomfortable with the whole thing. I couldn't see him getting a lap dance, and you know what I mean? I just don't know.
I think he'd have to be tipped right over the edge.
Yeah.
And we know Bernard, God bless him, enjoyed a little drink.
He did enjoy a tipple, didn't he, to say the least. Yeah.
So maybe there was a bit of that brought into his character, I don't know.
Yeah.
But interestingly about that bit, there's a whole bit about when in You Only Live Twice where Tanaka goes to Bond, you've never been to Japan before, have you? And he says, no, never.
Yeah.
But not Tanaka, Henderson says it to him, I think, doesn't he?
Yeah.
But obviously he has, so maybe he's been a bit sneaky about it.
All right.
Cool.
Final question then in the Connery round.
Yes.
When Professor Dent comes to murder Bond, what kind of gun has he brought to do the job?
It's a Smith & Wesson. You've had your 6.
There it is. You've got it.
Yeah.
Full marks for Chris in round 1. Great stuff.
Lovely. Okay, so on to round 2, which is our lovable Mr. George Lazenby.
All right.
Okay, so obviously we're talking George, we're talking Majesties. Are you ready for round 2, Tom?
I'm ready.
Okay, question 1 of round 2, or are we going to say question 11? I don't mind either way.
Question 11, I guess.
Question 11.
Yeah.
Question 11 is, what is the name of Draco's henchman who battles Bond on the beach wearing only one glove? I'll say that again. What is the name of Draco's henchman who battles Bond on the beach, that's in the pre-title sequence, wearing only one glove? Okay. I'll give you guys a hint. actor who played him might have been in a previous James Bond radio interview. But that's all I'm going to say.
Oh shit! That was the answer I was going to give.
Yeah. Well, I tell you what, you get a half mark for the character and a half mark for the actor who plays him.
All right, cool.
Okay, that's fair enough. Okay, on to question 2. What do Bond and Draco drink when they're inside Draco's office? And again, half mark for each because they have different drinks. What do Bond and Draco drink when they're in Draco's office? Okay. On to question 3. This is a little bit outside the box, but what is the name of George Lazenby's character in The Return of the Man from U.N.C.L.E.?
Okay.
I'll say that again. What is the name of George Lazenby's character in The Return from the Man from U.N.C.L.E.?
I'm just letting you know you might be getting a similar question to that in a minute.
Okay, this is good. I like it. Okay, I wondered why you had a nice little smile on your face then. Okay, on to question 14. What tune from another Bond film is heard during Majesties and how is it heard? Okay, half mark for each again. What tune from another Bond theme is heard during the film of Majesties and how is it heard or how is it played? And finally, question 15. What does Blofeld demand in exchange for not releasing his virus Amiga? So what does Blofeld demand in exchange for not releasing his virus Amiga? Now, there are 2 things that he asks for. So again, half mark for each. Lots of half marks that you can get in this round.
Okay. All right. Good stuff.
Fab. Nice.
Switching it back around then. So I tell you what, I've got my questions listed as like 1 through 5. So if we start counting consecutively, I'm going to really lose track. So yeah. All right.
We'll just say yeah.
Question number 6 of the Lazenby round. Let's do that. That's far easier. Sorry, I'm confusing everybody already. Question number 6 of the Lazenby round.
Yes.
When Bond's real identity is revealed, Bond tells Blofeld that it'll take more than something to turn him into a count. What is that thing? When Bond's real identity is revealed, Bond tells Blofeld it'll take more than something to turn him into a count. What is that thing? Question number 7. During dinner, whilst Bond is undercover as Sir Hilary Bray, Ruby writes her room number on Bond's inner thigh. Bond notices Bond's reaction and asks him, "Is there anything the matter, Sir Hilary?" To which he replies, "Just a slight stiffness coming on." Then he names a body part. What is that body part?
That's a good question.
So when he says, "Just a slight stiffness coming on," he names a body part where he is feeling particularly stiff. What is that body part?
Is it the one that immediately comes to mind?
I'll leave you to work it out.
Okay.
Question number 8. We all know that Mark-Ange Draco is part of the Union course, but what is the name of his cover company he uses to cover up his naughtiness? So he has like a legit facing company. I want to know the name of that company, please. And he does mention it, and it is visually seen in the film as well. So, if you ever think about that, you could get it. Question number 9 of the Lazenby round. What sport do the Blofeld's Angels of Death enjoy playing during their stay at Peace Gloria? That is, what sport do Blofeld's Angels of Death enjoy playing during their stay at Peace Gloria? Now,
do nighttime activities count, or not necessarily?
That was maybe that's a half mark, but that's not the one I was thinking of. It was more of a a traditional sporting event, which you could make an argument that is one. But I would say that JBR listener Matt Spencer would have a close knowledge of that. So, because he happens to play that. So there you go. Okay. Matt Spencer's got at least one right this year.
The nighttime activity or the other one?
I couldn't possibly say at this point.
Okay.
Question number 10 of the Lazenby round.
Yes.
Moneypenny, what would I do without you? What is Moneypenny's response? That is, Moneypenny, what would I do without you? What is Moneypenny's response?
What happened to the question from the Return from the Man from U.N.C.L.E.? I thought I was getting that in this round.
That's actually coming. That's not in the Lazenby round. Actually, that's right. General knowledge round.
Okay. Cool. Okay. Real. Okay, so that is the George Lazenby round done and dusted. So we're going to go back to the answers.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to go to question 1 of the George Lazenby round. Mr. Tom Sears, what is the name of Draco's henchman who battles Bond on the beach wearing only one glove?
That would be my favourite Ninja Turtle, Raphael.
Yes, it would. Absolutely amazing. Full marks there. Okay.
Half mark if you knew that it was Terry Mountain that played him.
Yeah, if you knew Terry Mountain, you get a half mark. But obviously Raphael, you get the full mark. If you know both, you still only get the 1 mark. Okay, on to question 2. What do Bond and Draco drink in Draco's office? Now you get a half mark for each.
Do you know what the annoying thing about this is I remember George saying, you usually drink Corsican brandy. So he's obviously not drinking that. But that doesn't bring me any closer to the answer. I can't, for the life of me, remember what they are drinking.
Okay, what would Bond typically drink?
Vodka martini.
But if there wasn't any vodka...
Probably, if it was Roger, it would be a bourbon.
Yeah. But say what you just said, but maybe they didn't have vodka in the store.
A dry martini.
Yeah. A martini shaken, not stirred, but I'll give you that.
All
so
right.
you got that as a half mark because you're pretty much there.
All right.
So Draco... Now, I'm going to give you a little hint to see if it triggers anything in the noggin there.
Okay.
It starts with the letter C, and it's a liquor.
Cognac.
Oh, that's close, but no.
I don't know any other liquors beginning with C.
It is Campari.
Oh, you know what? I
Campari
wouldn't have got that. Yeah. All right. Cool.
Okay,
Nicely done.
So that's quite a tough one, that one. Okay, on to question 3, which I think 100% you will get this answer. What is the name of George Lazenby's character in The Return from the Man from U.N.C.L.E.? The Return of the Man from U.N.C.L.E.
He has your initials, JB.
Yes, JB, indeed. Absolutely. And it's a good little scene, that, isn't it? He's driving along in his DB5 and stuff like that. Love it. Okay, on to question 4. What tune from another Bond film is heard during the film, and how is it played? I don't need to say anything else.
It is,
That's
of course, Goldfinger whistled by the little dude.
Our listeners might not know. Yeah, the little janitor dude outside Draco's office. Absolutely brilliant. So a half mark for each if you got the film or how it was played. Okay, so final question for me on the Lazenby round. What does Blofeld demand in exchange for not releasing his virus Amiga? And there is a half mark for each.
He wants a full pardon of his past crimes.
Brilliant, yeah.
And he wants his I can't remember the exact way he phrases it, but he wants full recognition of his countness.
Of his title as Count. Yeah. Yes, absolutely. Cool. Superb. So, anyone, basically you get a half mark for each. A full pardon for all past crimes is a half mark. And official recognition for his title as the Count de Blauchamp is another half mark. So, brilliant stuff. Nice. Tommy, good round for you there.
I did a good round in the Lazenby round this year. Good stuff.
Yeah.
All right.
Brilliant.
Back to to answer my questions then. Question number 6 is when Bond's real identity is revealed, Bond tells Blofeld it'll take more than something to turn him into a count. What is that thing?
I can't remember the exact wording, but is it something like cutting off your earlobes?
Exactly that. It'll take more than cutting off your earlobes to turn you into a count, Blofeld. Or something like that.
I like that.
Yeah, nice.
Nice.
Question number 7. During dinner whilst Bond is undercover as Sir Hilary Bray, Ruby writes a room number on Bond's inner thigh. Fräulein Bunt notices Bond's reaction and asks him, "Is there anything the matter, Sir Hilary?" To which he replies, "Just a slight stiffness coming on in the..." and then names a body part. What is that body part?
And it's not his appendage between his legs. I'm going to go with, is it a stiffness in the neck?
Close.
Shoulder,
it's the shoulder. Yeah, that's the one.
I don't get that. Yeah.
You can have half a mark because you did get it with the second try.
Mark?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll go.
If you get it in the second time round, you get a half mark.
You get a half mark. Okay, that's cool. Good round.
Question number 8. We all know that Marc-Ange Draco is part of the Union course, but what is the name of his cover company he uses to cover up his naughtiness?
Is it Draco Construction?
It absolutely is, yeah. He says it when Bond meets him in his office. "I am Draco from Draco Construction." And then obviously you see it in the scenes, in the safecracker scenes, you see it in the building site opposite.
Oh, nice. Wicked. Cool.
Yeah.
Good one.
All right, good stuff. Question number 9. What sport do Blofeld's Angels of Death enjoy playing during their stay at Peace Gloria?
And now this particular sport, which Matt would also be a fan of, is curling.
Absolutely, good stuff. And then the final question of this year's Lazenby round is, Moneypenny, what would I do without you? What is Moneypenny's response?
Bond's response, you mean? No, Moneypenny's response.
What Moneypenny's response?
That's it. The trouble is, you never do anything with me.
Exactly. I'll give you that. The full quote is, my problem is that you never do anything with me. But
my problem is.
You add it. That's good.
Okay.
All right. Good stuff.
We both got the same on that one.
That was a good round. Cool. Good stuff.
Which means, what have we got next, Tom?
It's the Roger Moore round.
Lovely. Okay, so the first question for the module round is, what two Roger Moore films have the longest running time during his tenure as Bond? So that's, what two Roger Moore films have the longest running time during his tenure as Bond? Obviously a half mark for each. Okay, on to question 2. What is the name of Roger Moore's character in Cannonball Run? So that is, what is the name of Roger Moore's character in Cannonball Run? And I will give you a little help on that one when we get down to it. Okay, question 3. What does Bond's old friend from the Cambridge days, Sheikh Hussein, offer him when he visits his Bedouin tent in The Spy Who Loved Me? So when Bond visits his Cambridge mate, Sheikh Hussein, what does he offer him? And in fact, there are a few answers here. If you can get 2 of them, I'll give you a half mark. If you can get 3 or more, then you get the full mark. Okay. Question 4 of the Sir Roger Moore round. What is far better than gold? So that's, what is far better than gold? Again, I can give you a hint when we come round to it next time round.
Okay.
And finally, question 5 for the Roger Moore round. Adjusted for inflation, what was Sir Roger's highest grossing Bond film?
All right.
So adjusted for inflation, what was Sir Roger's highest grossing Bond film?
Very nice.
Okay,
good stuff. Question number 6 then of the Roger Moore round is, in The Spy Who Loved Me, Bond orders a drink for Triple X whilst they're at the Mujaba Club. What is that drink? That is, at the Mujaba Club, Bond orders a drink for Triple X. What is that drink? Question number 7. When Bond remarks that the sights on Lazar's rifle is a bit off, he replies, that's because he has 5 fingers. According to Lazar, the butt is balanced for the pressure of how many fingers? That is, when Bond remarks that the sights on Lazar's rifle are a bit off, he replies, it's because you have 5 fingers. According to Lazar, the butt is balanced for the pressure of how many fingers? You're right, an inch too low. Question number 8. What does the Queen of Cups in an upside down position mean? What does the Queen of Cups in an upside down position mean? Question number 9. You'll like this one, Chris. I think, I don't know whether you'll get this because this is a tough one. When one is in Egypt, what should one do?
Right.
That is, when one is in Egypt, what should one do?
Nice.
And then finally, question number 10 of the Roger Moore round. I would like the next line, please. Basically, what I'm asking for is, what is Bond's reply to this line?
Okay.
Welcome, sir. I'm Jenny Flex. That is, what is Bond's reply to this line? Welcome, sir. I'm Jenny Flex.
Oh, nice. Okay. Right, there we are. So, Roger Moore, we are going through the answers. So, question 1 of the Sir Roger Moore round. Tom, you get a half mark for each film. Can you tell me what 2 Roger Moore films have the longest running time during his tenure as Bond?
This is a total guess because I don't know the answer, but I'm guessing it's Spy and Moonraker.
You know what?
Go on.
It is Octopussy.
Is it?
And A View to a Kill, his
Is it
final two
really?
Bond films.
I wouldn't have guessed that in a million years.
But this really surprised me because I thought Moonraker would definitely be there.
Yeah.
And then I thought, well, I wasn't quite sure. Maybe Fiore's Only, maybe Spy. But yeah, Octopussy and A View to a Kill both are 131 minutes.
Good God.
So
I would never have guessed that in a million years.
2 hours, 11 minutes.
All right.
So
cool stuff.
Crazy. Okay, on to question 2. What is the name of Roger Moore's character in Cannonball Run?
Seymour Goldfarb III.
Well, is it Seymour Goldfarb? It's definitely Seymour Goldfarb Jr. Either way, that's 100% you're getting that. Brilliant, man.
Do you know
what? How did you recall that?
Do you know what? I have no
amazing.
fucking clue. Because when you asked the question, I was like, I'm never going to get that. And then all of a sudden it just went, Seymour Goldfarb. And in my mind, I thought it was Seymour Goldfarb Jr. And I thought maybe it's the third. It is Junior. All right.
I think it's Junior. But that's crazy, isn't it, how that happened? It's just like ding ding.
Yeah.
Brilliant, man. Brilliant. Okay. I think you'll do well with this one. So, from The Spy Who Loved Me, when Bond goes to meet his mate Sheikh Hussein in the desert in his Bedouin tent, what does the Sheikh offer him?
Do you know what?
And if you can get 2, I'll give you half a mark. If you get more than 2, you get the full mark.
I'm drawing a blank on this one, but it's obviously one of his ladies because that's when the whole
I'll give you that's one of the things. Yeah, so one of his harem is definitely one of them, and there are 3 other things that he offers him.
It's going to be some sort of refreshment, food or drink or something, but I can't remember what it is. Yeah.
Well, what would be the obvious one?
Vodka martini.
Yes.
Oh.
So you got your half mark.
All right,
brilliant.
cool.
So you got your half mark. The other 2, do you want to stab in that? I tell you what. One of the other 2, he ends up eating in a film 3 films later than this one. Quite an exotic type of thing that he eats.
3 films later than this one, so that would be Octopussy, some sheep's eyeball.
Yes,
nice.
So when he first walks in, he goes sheep's eyes, dates, vodka martini, and then Bond goes information.
As he
so
likes
you get it.
All right.
Yeah,
nice.
So you got your sheep's eyes, you got your vodka martini, and you got your one of the harem. So for everyone who's listening, you need 2 of those. 4 will get you half a mark, and 3 or 4 will get you the full mark.
Lovely.
Okay, on to question 4. What is far better than gold? And I'll give you a hint if you need it.
Yeah, I'm going to need a hint.
According to Max Zorin, what is far better than gold?
That's obviously got to be microchips, isn't it? Or silicon.
Yes, silicon. Nice one.
All
Superb.
Right. So I get half a mark for that, don't I? Because
get half a mark because that's cool. Okay. Final question. Adjusted for inflation, what was Sir Roger's highest grossing Bond film?
That's got to be Moonraker.
That's what I thought, but it's not Moonraker. In terms of non-adjusted for inflation, Moonraker is the highest, and it was the highest grossing Bond film until GoldenEye. But adjusted for inflation, Live and Let Die is the highest grossing Roger Moore Bond film.
Are you kidding me? I would never have guessed that.
And you know what? Live and Let Die comes in at 5th in total out of all the Bond films in highest grossing. Okay, so first, it's obviously Skyfall, then Thunderball, then Goldfinger, then Spectre, and then Live and Let Die.
Holy shit!
So Spy Who Loved Me comes in at 7th, and Moonraker comes in at 9th.
I would have definitely I'd have put Moonraker for Roger, followed closely by Spy. That's the 2 I'd have gone for there. I'd never have dreamed Live and Let Die.
Without the adjusted inflation, that would be true. Yeah. Moonraker was the highest. But it's weird, isn't it? But it's kind of cool because I love Live and Let Die, and you obviously love Live and Let Die. And it's like, it shows you how successful Roger's intro film was. His first film, and how they sort of enjoyed it and stuff. So, Live and Let Die it was.
Holy shit. All right,
there
cool.
We go.
Nicely done. Okay, then flipping it over to answer my Roger questions. Question number 6. Bond orders a drink for Triple X at the Mujaba Club. What is that drink?
You know what? I know this drink, but I think, you know when you know it, but you haven't got it in your brain, and it's like, you idiot. Is it something on the rocks?
It certainly is something on the rocks, yeah.
Is it something beginning with B on the rocks?
It very well might be, yes.
Is it Bacardi on the
It
rocks?
is Bacardi on the rocks. You've got it. Yeah,
Thank
nicely
God.
done.
Oh, yeah, that's tough. Ah, that's good.
Good stuff. All right, good stuff. Question number 7. When Bond remarks that the sights on Lazar's rifle are a bit off, he replies that it's because he has 5 fingers. According to Lazar, the butt is balanced for the pressure of how many fingers?
The butt is balanced for the pressure of 3.
You got it in one. Absolutely. Yeah, 3
Nice.
fingers it is. Question number 8. What does the Queen of Cups in an upside down position mean?
I think it's. I'm going to try and do the whole thing
Go
now.
on. Yeah.
Right? A perverse woman, a liar, a cheat, and I'd like some answers now.
Beautiful. No. There's one word missing. I'm still going to give you the full point because that's fine.
All right.
The full quote is a deceitful, perverse woman, a liar, a cheat, and I'd like some answers now.
I forgot the deceitful. That's cool.
That's it. In terms of the people marketing at home, if you get basically a liar or a cheat or a deceitful woman, any of that will do. You'll get your full mark for that. That's good stuff. Excellent. Question number 9. I know you're going to struggle with this one, Chris. When one is in Egypt, what should one do?
Obviously, Tom, one delves deeply into its treasures, I believe.
Indeed, they do. I've still never been to Egypt, so I need to pay a visit
do you know what?
And do that.
Yeah, I was in Cairo once. That's all I'm going to say.
Did you?
Anyway,
did you? Very nice. I
went to many a museum, Tom. I went to many museums.
Lovely.
Yes.
Sounds good to me, mate. Cool.
Right.
Question number 10 in the Roger Moore round. What is Bond's response to this statement? Welcome, sir. I'm Jenny Flex.
But of course you are.
Very nice. That's it. Now, Chris, for a bonus point, right? You've done very well this round. It has to be said. For a bonus point, there are, I believe, 2 other occasions when Bond gives that reply in the series.
What? Both Roger or not?
Neither of them are Roger.
Neither are Roger. Okay.
Yeah, different Bonds, both.
Oh, I know one definitely.
Yeah, go on.
Connery, Bond, Diamonds Are Forever. My name's Plenty, but of course you are.
Yeah,
that's good. Named after your father. That's one.
That's half a point.
Okay, but of course you are. Oh, is it Brosnan? Is it Pierce Brosnan?
No, I don't think so. Unless there's another one.
No. But of course, no. Oh, Craig?
Yes.
All right, but of course you are. Oh, mate, I can hear him saying it. I can't picture what the film is because it's been so long. Of course you are. But of course you are. But of course you are. Is it Quantum?
I think so. Here's the interesting bit. I can hear Craig saying it as well, and I know he does, but I can't for the life of me either remember what it was. And I was hoping you would just know it there, and I'd be like, yeah, there it is.
Sorry, man. I can't remember. I can hear him saying it, but I can't remember which one.
All right.
Oh, all right.
If it comes to you at some point within the end of the quiz, we can come back to it, and you'll still get the other half mark. But half mark for Plenty O'Toole one, that's for sure.
Right. But that, as an extra, as a bonus.
Yeah.
Oh, that's very kind of you. Thank you.
That's good.
Okay, so on to you then. So no, we've done it, haven't we?
We have.
So, Roger. We are now on to Timothy Peter Dalton.
Very nice.
Dun, dun, dun.
You remember that from last year because I got you with the middle names of the Bonds. You remembered it. Good work.
I was like, yeah. I tried to make sure I memorised them, but anyway. Okay, so question 1, Tom, from the Timothy Dalton round is: what is the name of the safe house where Bond goes to meet M, Frederick Grey, and Georgy Koskov? Okay, That is, what is the name of the safe house where Bond goes to meet M, Frederick Grey, and Georgy Koskov? On to question 2. Which actor playing the Tangier Chief of Security in The Living Daylights also portrayed an unfortunate contact in The Spy Who Loved Me, and what was his character's name? So I'm going to give you a half mark for the actor and a half mark for the character's name. So I'll say that again. Which actor in the Living Daylights who played the Tangier Chief of Security also portrayed an unfortunate contact in The Spy Who Loved Me, and what was his character's name in The Spy Who Loved Me? Does that make sense?
It does.
Have I overcomplicated it?
Yeah, I think I understand. So the actor's name and whoever he played in The Spy Who Loved Me. And
his character in Spy Who Loved Me, yeah. Okay, question 3. What drink do Bond and Pam Bouvier order when they're in the Barrelhead bar? So question 3 is, what drink, it's the same drink. What drink, in fact, Pam orders it and Bond says he'll have the same. So what drink does Pam order when they're in the Barrelhead bar in License to Kill? Question 4. What agency does Quang work for?
Quang. Oh, yeah, lovely. All right, cool.
I'll say that again. What agency does Quang work for in License to Kill? And finally, question 5. Which actor seen in License to Kill has a family connection to one of the earlier Bond films? So that's which actor seen in License to Kill has a family connection to one of the earlier Bond films. Okay? Over to you, Tom.
Good stuff. Question number 6 in the Dalton round. When Saunders is chewing Bond out in the car for not killing the sniper, Bond says... I'll rephrase that because I've written it in a funny way and it sounds weird. When Saunders is chewing Bond out in the car for not killing the sniper, he says that he's going to give M a full report. Bond says that he can tell him whatever he wants. If M were to fire him, he'll do a certain something. What will he do? I'll say that again. When Saunders is chewing out Bond in the car for not killing the sniper, he says he's going to give a full report of his actions to M. Bond says he can tell him whatever he wants. If M was to fire him, he'll do something. What will he do? Question number 7. How much money is in Killifer's suitcase? Question number 7. How much money is in Killifer's suitcase? Question number 8. When Bond uses his wheel lasers on the police cars in the Living Daylights, Kara sees the top half of the police car fly off and asks Bond what happened. What is Bond's reply? That is, when Bond uses his wheel lasers on the police car in The Living Daylights, Kara sees the top half of the police car fly off and asks him what happened. What is Bond's reply? Question number 9. This is a tricky one. What is the number plate of Timmy's Aston Martin V8 Vantage?
Oh, that is a good one.
What is the number plate of Timmy's Aston Martin V8 Vantage? For our American cousins, that would be the license plate. And then number 10, final question of the Timmy round. After Bond and Kara narrowly escape death by driving a Jeep out of Koskov's plane, he mentions he knows a great restaurant nearby. What city is that restaurant in? After Bond and Kara narrowly escape death by driving a Jeep out of Koskov's plane, he mentions he knows a great restaurant nearby. What city is that restaurant in?
God, this is going to be a tough one, I think. Good round. Okay. Back we go to question 1 of the Timothy Dalton round. Are you ready, Tom?
Yes.
What is the name of the safe house where Bond goes to meet M, Frederick Ray, and Georgy Koskov?
That would, of course, be the Bladen safe house.
It would indeed. Absolutely. Bang on. There we are. Okay, on to question 2. Which actor playing the Tangier Chief of Security in The Living Daylights also played an unfortunate contact in The Spy Who Loved Me? And what was his character's name? And a half mark for each.
It wasn't Fekesh, was it?
It was indeed Aziz Fekesh.
No way.
Superb.
Do you know what?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. That was a total guess. And I didn't know that Fekesh is in The Living Daylights.
Yeah. Oh, wow. Superb.
Yeah, nice.
Do you know the actor's name who plays him?
Yes, I do.
He has daughter.
I know. She's a TV presenter in Loose Women, which I'm a regular viewer of. And
all you need is, if you get her surname, then I'll give it to you.
I can see
you
her
don't
face.
Even need her first name.
She's got curly hair.
Yeah. I tell you what, I'll give him his first name. I don't know if that will help.
All right.
Or would you want her first name?
Sawala. Nadia Sawala is her name.
Superb. Yeah, and he's Nadeem Swalia.
Nadeem Sawala.
Superb. Yeah, I'm giving you a full mark for that.
You sure that deserves a full mark?
Yes. No, definitely, because you got the surname without any hint, so that's great. So basically, if you get Aziz Fekesh, you get half a mark. If you get Nadeem Swahalia, you get half a mark. If you get them both, you get the full mark.
Cool.
Brilliant. Okay, so on to question 3. What drink does Pam order, which Bond also says he'd have the same, when they're in the Barrelhead bar in License to Kill?
Is it Scotch on the Rocks?
No.
No.
It is a Bud with lime. Budweiser with lime.
Ah, interesting.
There we go. They order a beer, yeah. So if anyone gets a Bud with lime, you get the full mark there. Okay, on to question 4, Tom's favourite one. What agency does Quang work for in License to Kill?
Is it the NSA?
It's similar to that, but it's not. It's a different
Hong Kong
country.
Narcotics.
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely
Cool.
brilliant. Hong Kong Narcotics. So there we go. For everyone who got that, Hong Kong Narcotics. And final question for me, for Tim Dalton round. Which actor seen in License to Kill has a family connection to one of the earlier Bond films?
That's obviously Karen Bay's son, isn't it?
Yes.
Indeed.
Any idea of the name? I'll give you a clue.
Yeah,
it's the same name as his dad, but he's just called Junior.
I know it. And it's just
I'll give you the
it's on the tip of my tongue.
The initials are
we'll get it with the initials.
P and A. P and A.
Pedro Armendariz' son.
Yes. And
Thank
it's Pedro Armendariz
right.
Jr. Superb. So, full mark for that. Oh,
do I get a full mark because I needed the initials? I feel like I should get half a mark.
All right, I'll give you a half mark then. Yeah,
right,
half
cool.
mark. Nice one. Still a solid round though.
All right, good stuff. Next up, then, it is time to answer my Dalton questions.
Yes.
So question number 6. When Saunders is chewing Bond out in the car for not killing the sniper, he says he has no choice but to give a full report to M about his actions. And Bond says, you can do whatever you want. If M were to fire me, I'll...
If he fires me, I'll thank him for it.
Very good. Yeah, I love the disdain in his voice.
know.
If he fires me, I'll thank him for it. He doesn't give a
It's
shit,
so good.
does he?
Yeah,
it's
he's
nice.
so good in that scene.
Yeah, he's
Absolutely
great.
Brilliant
Love
in
it.
that scene.
Good stuff. Question number 7. How much money is in Killiver's suitcase?
Is it? There's $2 million in that suitcase, all in 20s, difficult to trace, or is it? Oh. No, if I got it the wrong way around.
No, it's fine.
Is it $2 million? Oh.
It's $2 million in that suitcase. I'll split it with you. You keep it, old buddy.
Oh, yeah.
That's another moment where Timothy shines. Yeah. Absolutely. Good God. Yeah.
See, he's
it was, of course, $2 million. Question number 8. When Bond uses his wheel lasers on the police car in A Living Daylights, Kara sees the top half of the police car fly off, and she turns to Bond and asks him what happened. What is Bond's reply?
Salt corrosion.
Exactly. Yeah. In that matter of fact way. Salt corrosion. Yeah. Good stuff. Question number 9. If you get this one, I'll be very impressed.
No, I haven't. I'm going to need a hint. So, let's go and ask a question.
The question is, what is the number plate or the license plate for our American cousins of Timmy's Aston Martin V8 Vantage?
See, DB5, no issues. Lotus Esprit, no issues. I've got a B and a W in my mind for this car, and I think there's a W in there somewhere. I don't even know if there's a B in there somewhere.
You're absolutely right, yeah.
Yeah.
To give you a roundabout clue, it's B, then 3 numbers, then W and 2 letters.
Okay, so B, is it 3? No, mate, I should have known this off by heart. So it's B something and then B. No, go on. You have, I don't. I'm not. I don't.
Don't worry. Don't feel bad about yourself because I didn't know this until I was like, I bet I'll get him with that one.
Yeah.
The answer is B549 WUU.
Oh.
So write that down, Chris.
I got a B and a W. So B549 is it?
Yeah.
Or no, 5.
Yeah, that's right.
549 WUU.
That's it.
Man, I got a B and a W, but I definitely don't deserve a half mark for that.
A nice way that you can remember that is to think B549 woo, and then you'll be all right. That can stick in your mind.
Thanks. Cheers, man.
Good stuff. Question number 10 in the Timothy Dalton round is: after Bond and Kara narrowly escape death by driving a Jeep out of Koskov's plane, he mentions he knows a great restaurant nearby. What city is that restaurant in?
Well, that city would be Karachi.
I know a great restaurant in Karachi. You can be there in time for dinner.
Have you ever been there?
No, absolutely not. I've flown over the top of it though. in
Have you?
when you
So
watch the
have I.
maps on a plane.
Yeah.
It was like, oh, look.
I think you posted didn't you post a little picture of it?
I certainly did, yeah. And I turned to my
That's
missus
right.
several times and said,
Right.
I know a great restaurant in Karachi.
I bet she loved that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh,
Good stuff.
sweet.
That's the Timmy round taken care of. Excellent stuff.
There we are.
Who have we got next, Chris?
Next up, we have Mr. PB. We have Pierce Brosnan.
Splendid.
Now, question 1 in the Pierce Brosnan round. Are you ready, Mr. Sears?
I am ready. I was born ready for this moment.
Can you please tell me how did Alec Trevelyan's parents die? Or how did Alec Trevelyan's parents die, rather? Okay, I'll ask that again. Question 1, Pierce Brosnan round is, how did Alec Trevelyan's parents die? On to question 2. What is Elliot Carver hoping to achieve by starting a war between Britain and China? So, that again, what is Elliot Carver hoping to achieve by causing a war between Britain and China? Okay, on to question 3. Can you please tell me what is "the world is not enough" translated into Latin? So, can you please tell me what is "the world is not enough" translated into Latin? Question 4. What gift does Electra King give to M when she asks for her assistance? So basically, Electra King summons M to come out and help her and gives her a gift. What is that gift? And finally, question 5 for the Pierce Brosnan round. Aside from the absolutely outstanding theme song, in what context is the title Die Another Day heard in the film? So, aside from the amazing theme tune, in what context is the title of Die Another Day heard within the film? Okay.
All right, good stuff. Nice set of questions. I'm feeling pretty strong and confident about that.
Nice.
Question number 6 then in the Brosnan round is, how does Xenia take her vodka martini? That is, how does Xenia take her vodka martini? Question number 7. At Elliot Carver's event in Hamburg, Bond poses as a banker. Weiland asks him what kind of banking he specialises in. What is his answer?
Oh, that's a good question.
At Elliot Carver's party in Hamburg, Bond poses as a banker. Weiland asks him what kind of banking he specialises in. What is his answer? Question number 8. In what is one of the most deadly scenes in the whole series, Bond shoots an unarmed Electra King in the face at point-blank range. Afterwards, he makes a remark to himself. What does he say? So after he shoots Electra King in the face at point-blank range, he makes a little remark to himself. What does he say? Question number 9. In Tomorrow Never Dies, M tells Bond to use his relationship with Mrs. Carver during his investigation of Elliot Carver. Bond says he doubts she'll remember him. M replies, remind her, then gives him one more instruction. What is it? That is, in Tomorrow Never Dies, M tells Bond to use his relationship with Mrs. Carver during his investigation of Elliot. Bond says he doubts she'll remember him. M replies, remind her, then gives him one more instruction. What is it? And finally, question number 10. When Bond goes up to Oxford to brush up on a little Danish, what is the name of the professor he's visiting? That is, when Bond goes up to Oxford to brush up on a little Danish, what is the name of the professor he's visiting? That scene gave me much joy as a 15-year-old boy, it has to be said.
Yeah, I think pretty much the same.
And continues to, as a 36-year-old man, it still gives me joy to this day.
Yes.
All right, let's hear it.
We shall revisit the Pierce Brosnan round. Okay, question 1 was, how did Alec Trevelyan's parents die? Tom, can you tell me?
They were left to be executed by the Soviets, by the British government.
That is true, but that is not how they died.
That was the Lienz Cossacks in general, wasn't it? That's the answers I gave.
Yes.
But Alex's parents died. Alex's parents died differently. I can't remember then.
Yes.
Go on. What is it?
So they survived. He says they survived the British betrayal and Stalin's execution squads, but his father couldn't live with it, So his father killed his mother and then himself.
Oh shit!
So actually,
all right.
Alec Trevelyan's dad killed his mum and then popped himself as well.
Oh shit!
So there we
all
go.
Right, cool.
That is quite actually a really tricky question. So whoever got that, big props because that was a tricky one.
Very nice.
Okay, on to question 2. What is Elliot Carver hoping to achieve by causing a war between Britain and China?
I haven't seen this in a long time because of the podcast. Obviously, it's something to do with getting like the coverage in China of like the Third World War.
I'm gonna give you the mark on that. Basically, It's exclusive broadcasting rights in China for the next 100 years.
There it is.
Yeah, it is. Lovely. So if anyone has anything like that, or starting a war for ratings, anything like that, give yourself a full mark.
All right, lovely.
Okay, on to question 3. Can you please tell me what is "the world is not enough" translated into Latin?
That would be orbis non sufficit.
Absolutely. Bang on. Brilliant. Superb answer. Okay, on to question 4, the Brosnan round. What gift does Electra King give M when she asked for her assistance?
That would be her father's pin.
Yes, it would. The real lapel pin. Obviously, she replaced it with a fake in the pre-titles, or early on, rather, and when the bank explode. And then, she gives him the real lapel pin. Brilliant.
Yes, sir.
Okay, final question, Tom. Are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready for it.
Aside from your favourite James Bond theme song in the entire world, in what context is the title Die Another Day mentioned within the film?
Well, Bond's sitting like this. He's got his arm over the back of the sofa, and Gustav has revealed himself to be Colonel Moon. I won't go into the logistics of how he's done that, but basically Bond says to him, "So you live to die another day?"
Absolutely. Now, something tells me you're a closet fan of this film, aren't you, Tom?
Maybe I will be. We're getting closer. Yeah.
Maybe next year's bumper Boxing Day quiz, I might bust out 5 Die Another Day questions. How does that sound?
Who knows, mate? Who knows? By then I might have rediscovered it and love it.
This is it. Absolutely. Good round, man. Good round.
Good stuff. So flipping it over then, question number 6 of the Brosnan round is: how does Xenia take her vodka martini?
Straight up. With the twist.
Very good. I like the way she holds the cigar vertically as well.
But she's definitely suggesting something.
Yeah.
There,
I wonder if that was pre or post Clinton. Is that's
a good point. Yeah, 95.
Yeah,
it's around that sort of time.
Yeah, I feel like that might be a bit before, but who knows? Yeah. Question number 7: at Elliot Carver's event in Hamburg, Bond poses as a banker. Weiland asks him what kind of banking he specialises in. What is his answer?
Is it hostile takeovers?
It is indeed. You got it in one. Full marks.
That was a tough one.
Question number 8: in what is one of the most deadly scenes in the whole series, Bond shoots an unarmed Electra King in the face at point blank range. Afterwards, he makes a remark to himself. What does he say?
I don't know. I don't know about this one. Is it "I Never Miss"?
It is that. Well done. Full marks. Good stuff. All right. Good stuff. Question number 9. In Tomorrow Never Dies, M tells Bond to use his relationship with Mrs. Carver during his investigation of Elliot. Bond says he doubts she'll remember him. M says, "Remind her," and then gives him one more instruction. What is that instruction?
Pump her for information.
Exactly. And what does Moneypenny say?
You'll just have to decide how much pumping is needed, James.
Exactly.
Like
And do you know what I always say about Samantha Bond's M? She's got that naughty little twinkle in her eye, and
she likes it. Doesn't
she loves it, mate. And that
absolutely,
as she's saying that right there, she's got that naughty twinkle going on. So yeah,
and she's totally imagining it as well. I think.
Yeah,
Naughty
absolutely.
Moneypenny.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah. I tell you what, one of the Moneypenny scenes that I love is when in World Is Not Enough, when he brings her that like cigar tube back. And it's like, thought you might appreciate one of these. Love it. That was such a that really makes me smile.
What does he mean by that then, Tom? She smokes,
she's obviously a smoker. Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, okay. There we go.
And
although she did chuck it in the bin, didn't she?
She did. Yeah, she fished it out later, you know.
I bet
and then final question.
What?
Number oh god. Oh dearie me. Okay. Question number 10: when Bond goes up to Oxford to brush up on a little Danish. Do you know what I hope? What I hope in this show? I remember being a kid when you watch things on TV, and things go over your head that you don't get, and then you watch them again as an adult and you pick up on some jokes and stuff. I hope there are some younger listeners listening now who don't get what we're talking about, but then they'll listen back to this podcast in 10 years' time, and then they'll laugh at that. That would really please me. Anyway,
I hope so.
When Bond goes up to Oxford to brush up on a little Danish, what is the name of the professor he's visiting?
It's Professor Inga Bergstrom.
Absolutely. You've got it, Professor Inga Bergstrom.
She's
indeed.
Lovely as well.
She is absolutely lovely. And just what I tell you what it is, I feel like when you take a lady, right?
Any
way you like, right? When you take a lady, and if you've got somebody like, I don't know, something like a Miley Cyrus who's literally got her minge out, rubbing it in everybody's faces at every moment, right?
We do have family listeners.
We do, but whatever.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway, yeah.
You kind of go, oh, all right, you see what you're doing, but it kind of it ruins it for me. It
cheapens it, Tom. It cheapens it. That's
what is a wonderful thing. And for me, the better thing is to just have that little bit of mystery going on. And I tell you, there is so much mystery in Inga Bergstrom's bottom because she's got that bed sheet wrapped around it, and you can just about see just the tip of the bottom.
Yeah.
And that tiny little hint, as a 15-year-old boy I would have been in those days, used to drive me up the wall. It really was an enticing image, and it still is to this day. So that's
it lets your imagination go. It's almost like fill in the blanks, isn't it? You see that little bit, and that your mind is filling in like the rest of what's underneath that.
But
sheet.
that's the thing, though, because you know what it looks like under there. It's not going to be a surprise, but the fact that it's just hinted at, and I imagine the production crew probably had some double-sided tape involved. That's a job I'd like. Double-sided tape involved to make it sit at exactly the right spot. But they did a great job there. I really salute them for it. Yeah. Anyway.
Kudos to the camera team.
Yeah, indeed.
Right, so that is Pierce Brosnan put to bed, which means we are on to Mr. Daniel Craig.
Let's do it.
Okay. Question 1, Tom. Daniel Craig round. What is the name of M's personal assistant in Casino Royale, and which links back to Bond's literary roots?
Fuck.
So, what is the name of M's personal assistant in Casino Royale, and his name links back to Bond's literary roots? Okay. Question number 2. What is the name of Dominic Green's scheme for Quantum that he believes should be their priority? So, what is the name of the scheme that Dominic Green has come up with for Quantum, which he believes should be their priority? Okay. Question 3. What does Kincaid call Bond after Bond tells him it's not his fight? So that is, what does Kincaid call Bond after Bond tells him it's not his fight? Okay. Question 4. In Skyfall, what is M's original name revealed to be? So in Skyfall, M's name, her actual full name, is revealed, albeit extremely briefly. But what is it revealed to be? And finally, question 5. In Spectre, what do M and C stand for according to Denby and Gareth Mallory? And that's a half mark for each. So in Spectre, what do M and C stand for according to Denby and Gareth Mallory? And you get a half mark for each. Over to you.
All right. Okay. Question number 6 then of the Daniel Craig round. When Vesper introduces herself to Bond as the money, what is Bond's reply? That is, when Vesper introduces herself to Bond as the money, what is Bond's reply? Question number 7. In Quantum of Solace, Fields leaves a written message for Bond at the hotel reception. What does it say? In Quantum of Solace, Fields leaves a written message for Bond at the hotel reception. What does it say? Question number 8. According to M in Skyfall, who make the best recruits? According to M in Skyfall, who make the best recruits? Question number 9. À la banque. Who, to quote quote Mr. Dan Gale in what is my favourite JBR jingle, Who wants to stockpile the water in Bolivia? That is question number 9. Who wants to stockpile the water in Bolivia?
It's dummy trivia.
And then question number 10. This is a tough one. What is the name of the man Hinks kills at the Spectre meeting?
Ooh.
What is the name of the man Hinks kills at the Spectre meeting?
Okay, this might be a tough round as well, I think. Okay, so back to question 1, folks, for the Daniel Craig round. What is the name, and now this is an incredibly difficult one, actually. What is the name of M's personal assistant in Casino Royale, which links back to Bond's literary roots?
Is it Bryce?
Oh, no, but that's a damn good guess. A damn good guess. If I tell you that the way it links back is from an automobile point of view, if you're thinking about old school literary Bond, does that help?
Bentley?
It's to do with it, but it's not Bentley.
No,
If I give you the letter, you'll get it. The letter's V.
Victor.
His name is Villiers, as in Amherst Villiers. Yeah,
of course. Yeah. All right, cool, nice.
So basically, Charles Amherst Villiers, he was the guy that designed the sort of Bentley, the supercharger, the 4.5 Bentley to go on it. So Villiers is his name. That's a nice little nod back, I thought.
That is nice. Yeah,
it's a cool name. That. So that is actually a tricky one. So anyone who got Villiers, well done, because that's a really tricky one. Okay, on to question 2. This is quite similar to one of your questions, actually. What is the name of Dominic Green's scheme for Quantum that he believes should be their priority?
Can't remember.
So the scheme is what in your question to me earlier, but it's that name of the scheme. And I'll give you a clue. It's the Something Project. And it begins with the letter...
That was a T for anybody listening and watching on YouTube. I haven't got it.
It's the Tierra Project.
Do you know what? I wouldn't have got that in a million years. So interesting. All right, cool.
Okay, on to question 3. And I know you'll get this one. What does Kincaid call Bond after Bond tells him it's not his fight?
A little shit.
Yes, there is a little bit before that. It's a something little shit.
Jumped up little shit.
Yes,
yeah,
absolutely. And I tell you what, I'd like that full reply for the full mark. So if you said a little shit, you only get a half mark.
All right.
You need the full, a jumped up little shit, so you get a full mark for that. Superb.
Nice.
Okay, question 4. In Skyfall, what is M's original name revealed to be?
Olivia Mansfield.
Brilliantly. Absolutely.
Do I get an extra bonus point if I can tell you what Raymond Benson's female M was called?
You absolutely can.
That was Barbara Maudsley.
Yes! All right, you get a bonus point. In fact, that applies to everyone listening. If you knew that, the alternative for Raymond Benson's was Barbara Maudsley, then you get that as an extra bonus point. Now, what's interesting about Olivia Mansfield, Tom? I'll tell you if you don't know.
Okay, give it to me.
Olivia is Judi Dench's middle name.
Okay.
Now, as the boss of M, the boss of MI6, she has a lot of men in the field, as it were.
Very
Olivia
nice.
Mansfield. And maybe spying is a man's game, although it's not, but people might see it that way. But I think that's probably where they were going with it. But it's quite
interesting. Cool. Very nice.
Okay, finally, half mark for each. Inspector, what do the letters M and C stand for, according to Denby and Gareth Mallory?
Moron.
Absolutely brilliant.
And careless.
Ah, yes. Superb. Brilliant stuff. So with your bonus point there, you come right back in it with that one. Excellent.
Lovely.
Nice one.
Flipping it over then, question number 6 in the Daniel Craig round is, when Vesper introduces herself to Bond as the money, what is Bond's reply?
Now, is it every penny of it?
Absolutely, yeah. And do you know what? He gives her a really grotty look up and down as well.
He does, doesn't he?
Every penny of it. Ooh, yeah.
Now, did it ever cross your mind when she says, I'm the money, and he says every penny of it? do you think that's Moneypenny, like a little nod to Moneypenny?
Maybe. I haven't considered that before, but yeah, maybe.
I don't know. But anyway, but every penny of it, cool.
Good stuff. Number 7 then. In Quantum of Solace, Fields leaves a written message for Bond at the hotel reception. What does it say?
Shag me. No, wait a minute. Is it 3 letters?
Yes.
Is it run?
It is indeed.
It is.
Run.
That's good.
Yeah.
That took a while to compute that one.
8. Question 8. According to M in Skyfall, who make the best recruits?
Orphans?
Exactly right. Orphans indeed. Yeah. Question number 9. Who wants to stockpile the water in Bolivia?
Is it Tommy Trivia?
I was hoping I would implant that like Darren Brown into people's minds. But
are you wanting an organisation or a name?
A name, or, please.
Like a person.
A person.
I would say Dominic Green.
You're absolutely right. Yeah, there you go. Dominic Green indeed. Some would say the least memorable of Craig's villains. Would you agree with that?
In terms of well, I mean, Silver's memorable. Le Chiffre is great. The thing with Blofeld, you remember him, but perhaps, it's a bit mixed. I think probably yes, but I still don't think he's bad.
All right, nice.
I know some people aren't keen, but I would say he's probably the least memorable. Yeah.
Do you know, I feel like he could have made a good Blofeld himself. He's got that same kind of creepy vibe that Donald Pleasance had, that sort of like...
Totally, the eyes.
Yeah. Anyway, question number 10. What is the name of the man Hinks kills at the Spectre meeting?
Is it something like Guerra?
You son of a bitch. That's absolutely right.
Is it?
Yeah,
is it Guerra?
You've absolutely nailed it.
Yeah.
Guerra. That's how you spell it. Guerra. Yeah,
wow,
good stuff.
Guerra.
Played by Benito Sagrado. Sagrado, I think you say, actually. Yeah.
I wouldn't have known that.
You didn't know that, did you? Yeah. He's the actor that played Guerra.
Yeah.
I tell you what, though, he's got one of those voices, hasn't he?
Yeah.
That just like I fully predict that man does not struggle with the ladies. Like I feel like with a voice like that, he could talk anybody into the bedroom. I reckon he's got a little black book,
and maybe not just the ladies,
or maybe not. Yeah, you know what these Europeans are like. Yeah, they love a bit of it, don't they? Good stuff.
Right.
All right, that's the
that's
Craig
all
round.
the Bonds done. All the Bonds done. There we are. So well done to everyone who took part in that, and hopefully you scored well. We're now moving away from the Bonds.
Yes, we are.
And the next round is on Ian Fleming and the novels. Okay.
Very nice.
So, looking at question 1, Tom, this is where I really start to struggle now. Question 1 is, in which Fleming story does the character Milton Crest appear? So, in which Fleming story does the character Milton Crest appear? Obviously, he's in License to Kill, but in which Fleming story does he also appear? Okay, question 2. What on Her Majesty's Secret Service chapter is mentioned in Die Another Day? So what chapter from the On Her Majesty's Secret Service novel is also mentioned as part of dialogue in Die Another Day? Okay. Question 3. What was the first Bond movie title to be based on one of Ian Fleming's short stories rather than one of his novels? So which of the Bond films, which title was the first to be based on one of the short stories as opposed to one of Fleming's full novels? Okay. Question 4. From what James Bond novel did the kidnapping of M provide inspiration for part of the World Is Not Enough story? So from which James Bond novel did the kidnapping of M provide inspiration for a part of the World Is Not Enough story? Finally, question 5. How does Vesper Lynd commit suicide in Casino Royale, the novel? So how does Vesper Lynd commit suicide in Casino Royale, the novel? Over to you, my friend.
Good stuff. So question number 6 then of the Fleming and Books round. In Casino Royale, what does Le Chiffre's killer do to Bond to make sure he'll be identified in future as a spy? In Casino Royale, what does Le Chiffre's killer do to Bond to make sure he'll be identified in future as a spy? Question number 7. In Live and Let Die, what are the waters around Mr. Big's island infested with? In Live and Let Die, what are the waters around Mr. Big's island infested with? Question number 8. What was Dr. No's first name? Question number 8. What was Dr. No's first name? Question number 9. Which was the 007th Fleming Bond novel? So, the 7th Ian Fleming Bond novel. What one was that, please? Question number 10. Which character was the result of a midnight union between a German professional weightlifter and a Southern Irish waitress? Which character was the result of a midnight union between a German professional weightlifter and a Southern Irish waitress? All right, it's a tough one.
That's a tricky one.
Yeah,
I'm trying to rack my brains. Okay.
All right, give it to me. Flip it round.
Here we go. So, Ian Fleming novels round. Question 1 was: in which Fleming story does the character of Milton Crest appear?
So it's For Your Eyes Only, isn't it? It's in the collection of For Your Eyes Only stories.
Oh, sorry. Yes, it is.
Yes. So I think that is. I can't think of what it's called.
Do you remember? Do you remember what his job is? Because that would help you. Like Milton Crest, or what his sort of.
He's like a marine person.
Yes.
Yeah.
So what title could potentially be like forgetting anything with 8 tentacles? What other title? It referring to the name of.
Is it the Hildebrand Rarity?
Yes, it is. Absolutely.
Nice.
Superb. 4 marks there. So anyone else who guessed the Hildebrand Rarity? 4 marks. Milton Crest appears. Question 2. In which of the chapter titles in the On Her Majesty's Secret Service novel also is heard as a piece of dialogue in Die Another Day? This is a tricky one.
Is it Saved by the Bell?
Oh, wait a minute. Is that a chapter title?
I don't know. I'm just guessing because that's the only line I could remember from Die Another Day.
No, I don't think it is. It's actually Death for Breakfast. So when
I can hear Rosamund saying
Miranda Frost says, sex for dinner, death for breakfast, that little part there is from one of the chapter titles.
The very words I live by.
But again, lovely. That's another tricky one. Okay, so on to question 3. What was the first Bond movie title to be based on one of the Ian Fleming short stories rather than one of his novels?
So that to me would be For Your Eyes Only.
Absolutely. Yeah. For Your Eyes Only. Cool. There it is. Bang. Superb. Every one before that was a full-length Fleming novel. On to question 4 then. From what James Bond novel did the kidnapping of M provide inspiration for a part in The World's Not Enough story?
That would be Colonel's Son.
It absolutely would. God, you're doing well on this one. Okay, final question from me for the Ian Fleming round. Question 5. How does Vesper Lynd commit suicide in the Casino Royale novel?
Drowns in the bath. It's like an overdose, but drowns in the bath as well. Yeah.
Overdose of?
Oh, God. Painkillers, I guess. I don't know what the overdose is with.
I'll give you that. It's an overdose of sleeping pills.
All right,
but
cool.
I'll give you that. So overdose of sleeping pills. If everyone got that,
but she does drown in the bath still, though, doesn't she? Or does she just get in the bath? I think
she's in the bath, but overdosing on sleeping. It's definitely an overdose of sleeping pills that kills her.
Oh, okay.
I don't know if she drowns as well. I don't think so. But I'll give you that anyway because
thanks very much.
You mentioned that. So great. Okay, cool.
Question number 6 then in the Fleming and book round. In Casino Royale, what does Le Chiffre's killer do to Bond to make sure he'll be identified in future as a spy?
Isn't it something like burning his hand or marking his hand?
Yes.
No, is it? What does he use? Is it? You want me? What does he use to burn his hand or something?
No.
Mark his hand. Sorry.
Yeah. So he does something in particular. You got it right with his hand. He does something in particular to his hand.
Right. What is it? It's not acid. It's not burning. Does he? It's not obviously doesn't shoot it. Does he cut it?
He does. But
leaves a certain mark on it.
Yeah, he does do that. I need more.
Right, what is the mark that he uses, that he cuts onto Bond's wrist? What does it look like?
Yeah.
Well, it's not a swastika.
Nope. Thankfully.
That would be bad. It's not a tongue sign.
Nope.
No. Fuck. Oh, is it a letter from the Russian alphabet?
Yes.
That marks him out as a spy?
It does.
Because it's the letter that means spy in the Russian alphabet. And I can't remember what the letter is, Tom.
That's like a 3/4 of a mark, right?
Yeah.
Basically what it is, he carves an inverted M into his hand, which is a Cyrillic sh, whatever that means, to signify spion.
Inverted M. Okay. Well, I'm not going to take the extra quarter because that's just silly. But if I can have a half
mark,
I'll be
happy. You can definitely have a half mark for that. Good stuff. Okay. Question number 7. In Live and Let Die, what are the waters around Mr. Big's island infested with?
Syphilis.
Good guess, but not quite. That's the waters around your house.
Oh, yes. Oh, thank you, man. Thank you very much. Is it sharks?
No, it's not, surprisingly enough.
Buddha.
It's barracuda.
Barracudas. Oh, yeah. Damn it. You get them.
Question number 8. What was Dr. No's first name?
I believe it was Julius.
It was indeed Julius. Dr. Julius No.
Nice. Cool.
Question number 9. Which was the 007th Fleming Bond novel?
Goldfinger.
Good one. Nicely done. I thought I might catch you out with that. It was indeed Goldfinger. And then question number 10. Which character was the result of a midnight union between a German professional weightlifter and a Southern Irish waitress?
It's got to be Red Grant, isn't it?
It has indeed.
Oh,
yeah.
Phew.
Good stuff.
I thought you were about to say,
bonus point. What's Red Grant's actual first name? Red was a nickname.
Oh, yeah. It's Donald.
No, it's not. It's
no,
close.
Donald is in the film, isn't it? Wait. Donald Red Grant is in the film. Oh, what is it in the book? Does it begin with D?
It certainly does. You're very, very close.
Donovan.
That's the
there
one.
We go.
You got it.
Yeah,
Nicely
Donovan.
done.
That's it. Donald in the film and Donovan in the thing.
There you go. So the character.
What do I have for those?
Donovan Red Grant was the result of a midnight union between a German professional weightlifter and a Southern Irish waitress. The union lasted for a quarter of an hour. It's not bad.
That's pretty good going.
On the damp grass behind a circus tent outside Belfast. Now that couldn't be a more of a Fleming-esque description. There's usually the circus tent somewhere, you know.
I think I've been there as well.
Yeah, in fact, that's probably where you were conceived, on the same spot. Afterwards, the father gave the mother half a crown, and the mother walked happily home to her bed in the kitchen of a cafe near the railway station.
Oh, that's a nice ending to the story, isn't it?
It is. Yeah, beautiful
Brilliant.
stuff.
Okay,
all right, there we go.
Right. Next round, Tommy, we have got the music of Bond.
We do. We have to throw out an apology to JW because we got him to do the music questions last year and we completely forgot to ask him to do it this year, and then it was too late to get him to do it when we sat down to record.
That is true, but we'll sort something out for next time, without a doubt. Okay. Question 1, Tom. What is the longest music cue in all of the original soundtracks of Bond? So which music cue out of all of them is the longest?
Okay.
Question number 2. Can you please complete the lyrics to this line? Maybe I'm an open book because I know you're mine.
Hold on a second.
Sorry, I didn't mean to put you off by the style of singing.
No worries.
But anyway, maybe I'm an open book because I know you're mine.
All right, cool.
All right. Question 3. What nationality is Shirley Manson, the lead singer of Garbage? That's question 3. What nationality is Shirley Manson, the lead singer of Garbage? Question 4. Can you please tell me what is John Barry's connection to Skyfall? So question 4. What is John Barry's connection to Skyfall?
All right.
And question 5. Finally, can you please tell me who sung Do You Know How Christmas Trees Are Grown?
All right, very nice.
Okay,
I can tell you that, yeah.
You can tell me that. Fantastic. Okay, over to you.
Excellent stuff. Question number 6 then in the music round. And some might say this could be open to interpretation, but as far as I'm concerned, there is only one answer to this question, and it should be obvious.
Right,
question number 1. Who made the worst musical cue in all of Bond history?
Oh, I know what you... Oh, okay.
That is, who made the worst musical cue in all of Bond history? And yeah, you could be like, oh, I quite like it, or oh, that's a matter of
Do you get a
opinion.
half mark if you get the music cue but not the name, or vice versa? Oh, no.
Absolutely, you can have that. Yeah. But I'm sorry, I'm putting it out there. This one is a stone cold black and white fact.
Okay. And it doesn't even need to be, because people might think the same answer but might have a different music cue in mind.
That's true, I guess.
Yeah.
But there you go. Question number 7. According to our recent Music of Bond interview with Richard Kraft, John Barry's agent, which Bond score did John Barry very nearly do but couldn't come to terms contractually, so didn't do it? So that means that's from one of our recent Music of Bond interviews with Richard Kraft. Which Bond score did John Barry very nearly do but couldn't come to terms contractually, so didn't end up doing it? Question number 8. Which is the first Bond track to feature a Moog synthesizer?
Hey.
I said it properly that time, but I feel uncomfortable saying it. It
weird,
should be Moog, as far as I'm
Yeah.
concerned.
What, can you say the question again? Sorry.
Which is the first Bond soundtrack to feature a Moog synthesizer? Question number 9. Which artist took one of John Barry's absolute works of balls-out genius and promptly shat all over it on his 1998 hit Millennium? Again, that is... Which artist took one of John Barry's absolute works of balls-out genius and promptly shat all over it on his 1998 hit Millennium?
That's incredible. I love it.
And then question number 10, final question in the music round is, which singer was offered the role of singing Moonraker before Shirley Bassey? And this is not Frank Sinatra, if you were thinking Frank Sinatra.
Oh, bollocks, I was.
Which singer was offered to sing Moonraker before Shirley Bassey? And it's not Frank Sinatra.
Okay, so there we are. On to question 1 again of the music round. Tom, can you please tell me what is the longest music cue in the entire original soundtracks of Bond?
Is it White Knight?
Oh, that is a super long one, but it isn't White Knight. But that was a bloody good guess, because that is a long one.
Other than that, then I don't know.
I'll give you one more. I'll give you one more guess.
Go on.
Pluck it out the air. One more guess.
To be honest, that's the only one I can... No. Not African Rundown?
No, but that... I tell you what, it's on the same soundtrack as that one. And that is a long one as well. So maybe that will help. And if I tell you that it's 12 minutes and 43 seconds, or possibly 12 minutes and 45 seconds, depending on your source of where you get the information from, that is how long we're looking at. Nearly 30 minutes for one music.
Yeah, I'm not too up on my names of the individual pieces. Yeah. So yeah,
okay.
That's not. I don't know. Basically, is what I'm saying.
It is Miami International from Casino Royale soundtrack.
Interesting. All right, I wouldn't have got that. So
if you think about the scene, it starts. It's a long old scene, and music is playing like throughout the whole thing. 12 minutes, 43 seconds. That's a long time. Or 44, 45 seconds, depending on where you look. Okay, that was a tricky one. So anyone who got that, well done, because that is a very hard question. On to question 2. Can you please complete these lyrics? Maybe I'm an open book because I know you're mine.
To read between the lines.
That's the end of that line.
I don't know the first bit, though.
I'm going to give it to you. So it's, but you won't need.
But you won't need to read between the lines.
Yeah, I'm giving you that, man.
I think that's probably half a mark.
Well, did you have need to read between the lines, or just read between the lines?
Can't really remember. Give me half a mark. I'm happy with a half mark for that.
All right, half mark.
Because I didn't have the whole thing.
No, okay, yeah, half mark. So basically, the answer was, but you won't need to read between the lines.
All right.
Okay, Question 3. What nationality is Shirley Manson, lead singer of Garbage?
That would be the same as our man down under in JBR Melbourne, Mr. Paul Jameson, that would be Scottish.
Scottish indeed.
Scottish, Jimmy.
Right. On to question 4.
Paul's just tuning out in disgust after that.
That's it. Turned it off. Beep. Sorry about that, Paul. Okay, on to question 4. What is John Barry's connection to Skyfall?
I've got no idea.
I tell you what, if I say it's a location that you and I might have been to, does that help?
Oh, of course, I'm a dickhead. Why didn't I think of that? His house is M's apartment, isn't it? And we stood on the doorstep and had a look through the window, didn't we?
That's exactly it, yeah. So one of John Barry's former homes was used as M's home in Skyfall. Cool. So brilliant stuff. I'm giving you that 100%. Brilliant stuff. So final question. Who sung Do You Know How Christmas Trees Are Grown?
Nina.
Absolutely. You get a full mark. Now, for a bonus mark...
It was originally going to be a duet with Verushka, but Verushka couldn't sing that well, so it was just Nina.
That wasn't what I was going to ask, but I'm going to give you a bonus mark for that anyway, because that was brilliant. Do you know Nina's full name?
No.
Nina Baroness van Paland.
Jesus. Yeah, that's a handle,
she is Danish, and I thought it was interesting that she's a baroness, and obviously Sir Hilary Bray being a baronet in the film, and it's quite a nice little link.
That is
there.
nice.
But there we go.
All right, cool.
Fab.
Wicked. Question number 6 then in the music round is, who made the worst musical cue in all of Bond history?
Well, I agree with you on this one. I might differ on the actual cue itself, but I agree that this particular person has to be Mr. Eric Serra.
It was indeed Eric Serra. Good stuff.
There we go.
And the cue for me, of course, was actually obviously Ladies First. But
for me, it's the one in the graveyard bit. But what if someone else came up with a different name to that, Tom? Do we give him anything?
The question was, who made the worst musical cue in all of Bond history, which is clearly Eric Serra for everybody.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, that's fine.
So there we go.
We'll stick with that. Okay.
Question number 7. According to Richard Kraft in a recent musical Bond interview, what score did John Barry very nearly do, what Bond score, but couldn't come to terms contractually, so didn't do it?
Now, this is an interesting one, and I think, like you, I'd be split as to whether it happened or not. And I think I'm going to go with Tomorrow Never Dies.
Absolutely right. That's the one.
And the reason that I'm split on it, and the reason I know that you're split on it, is because we'd love John Barry to have come back to have done another one.
Yeah.
License to Kill, I think, was great. Golden Night, obviously, is the one that we would have loved him to do.
Yeah.
But David Arnold's Tomorrow Never Dies is actually my favourite soundtrack for that. That's his first one, and it's my favourite, and I love it, and it's banging. And I think you love it too. And that's the only reason why it's a bit umming and ahhing as to whether Barry should have come back or not.
Yeah, I think that Tomorrow Never Dies soundtrack is such a raging masterpiece that I would not want to lose that for love nor money.
No.
I love it so much. It's such a love letter to Bond, to the music of Bond, really.
Yeah.
And there's all those little quotes. There's the little bit where it sounds like the tarantula calling up Bond in Dr. No. That's thrown in there. All these little quotes and nods. It's exactly what
Backseat Driver.
Yeah, it's exactly what you would do. If if one of us was hired to score the next Bond film, the first thing we'd do is we'd go back and listen to all our favourite scores, pick out little nuggets and be like, I'm going to slide that little nod in there. I'm going to put that in there and that in there. And that's precisely what David Arnold did. And I love him for it and I salute him for it. So yeah, that's a tough one. Of course, like my number one wish musically is that we had a John Barry score for GoldenEye or even a David Arnold score for GoldenEye, those two. But that's a tough one to say goodbye to if John Barry was to come back. Yeah,
definitely. What was the next question then?
Question number 8: Which was the first Bond soundtrack to feature a Moog synthesizer?
That would be my personal favourite soundtrack, On Her Majesty's Secret Service.
Indeed it was. Question number 9. Which artist took one of John Barry's absolute works of balls-out genius and promptly shat all over it on his 1998 hit Millennium?
That would have to be the dreadful, the awful Mr. Robbie Williams.
Millennium. It was indeed good stuff. In those days, I used to work in a chip shop in Ventnor High Street, where I used to live on the Isle of Wight, and that song takes me back to those days. I was head fryer. I was battering and frying the fish and the chips.
Head fryer.
Yeah,
nice.
I was important. And the 3 songs that zip me back to that moment in time is Baby One More Time, Britney Spears, That one, Millennium, Robbie Williams.
Right.
And that other song by the bird whose name I can't remember now that went, "It's just a little crush." Do you remember that song?
Oh, yeah.
Every time we touch. Those 3 songs were played back to back all night long, all day long.
See the Britney Spears one, I probably could have handled quite a lot of that one.
Yeah.
And the Crush one's all right. Who sang that again?
I can't remember. I don't know.
It wasn't. No, I don't know. But the Millennium one, that would just make me angrier and angrier every time I heard it.
Indeed. But there we go. Final question in the music round. Question number 10. Which singer was offered to sing Moonraker before Shirley Bassey was? And it's not Frank Sinatra.
No, so this is the thing. That's automatically what came to mind. Is it a female?
No.
Oh, bollocks. Okay. I think you got me on this one.
His name, he shares a name with a Fleming Bond character who we've also seen on screen a couple of times.
Not Tanner.
Nope.
No. I think I'm not going to be worthy of even a half mark. Go for it.
It was Johnny Mathis.
Of course it is Mathis.
There you
Johnny
go,
Mathis. Nice.
All right, good stuff. Now we're coming on to the penultimate round of the 2018 Bumper Boxing Day Bomb Bonanza quiz. So what have we got this time?
Oh, this is my favourite round. I think it might be the listeners' favourite round. And this is obviously the guess the quote round. Bond. James Bond.
Lovely, good stuff. I like how you handled both ends of that today. That was great.
Yeah, I thought I would do. Okay, so, this is going to be good fun. Okay, are you ready for quote number 1?
I am. Give it to me.
Quote number 1 is, "Well, with this load on our back, that's good going." Okay, I'll say that again. Quote number 1 is, "Well, with this load on our back, that's good going." Okay. Quote number 2 is, "Knock, knock."
Okay.
Say that again. Quote number 2 is, "Knock, knock." Okay. Quote number 3, "You'll be sorry, you rats."
All right.
Do you want to hear that one again?
Yes, please.
Okay. "You'll be sorry, you rats."
Very good.
Okay. Quote number 4, "My loyalty to this organization is total. I will protect it with my last breath." Okay, I'll say that again. Quote number 4, "My loyalty to this organization is total. I will protect it with my last breath." Okay. And finally, quote number 5 is, "You mean this is a put-up job?" So my final quote number 5 is, "You mean this is a put-up job?" Okay. I didn't get any foreign ones in there.
You did.
I'm sorry, mate. I should have done, shouldn't I?
You bloody well should have done. That's your special.
I'm sorry.
Special skill.
I'm sorry.
All right, good stuff. Quote number 6 then. "You sound like a cop to me."
Ooh.
Once again, that is, "You sound like a cop to me."
Ooh. Okay.
Question number 7. Quote number 7, I should say. "The West is decadent."
Can you do that again, please?
Yes, it is. "The West is decadent."
That's absolutely amazing. Oh my God. That's so good.
Question number 8. "So good of you to come see me, Mr. Bond, particularly on such short notice." That is, "It's so good of you to come see me, Mr. Bond, particularly on such short notice." Question number 9. "You wouldn't touch that horrible girl. You wouldn't, would you?"
That's amazing. I know someone who's going to be really happy with that quote.
Quote number 9 once again. "You wouldn't touch that horrible girl. You wouldn't, would you?"
That's brilliant.
And then question number 10. "Oh, monsieur." Quote number 10.
Can you say that again?
"Oh, monsieur."
Oh, mate, I can just do quotes all day. And
Me too. It's good fun, isn't it?
Okay, so on to quote number 1 again. Well, with this load on our back, that's good going.
That is the opening scenes of Moonraker when they're towing the big shuttle.
Exactly. Yeah, the captain of the Boeing 747. Superb. Give you top marks for that. Now, for a bonus mark, do you know the name of his co-pilot?
I don't. I know he was also one of the dudes that gets shot in the previous film.
Yes, he's in a lot of them. Kim Fortune is the actor's name,
right.
But his character in this is called Richard.
Okay.
So if anyone gets Richard, they get a bonus, like a bonus mark. But
nice.
Yeah, captain of the Boeing 747. Lovely. Okay, quote number 2 is knock knock.
That would be your favourite henchman. Ah, Stamper! Put something in my ear, yeah.
Lovely. Indeed it is. Well done. That's Stamper. And quote number 3, I don't think anyone is going to get this one. You'll be sorry. You'll all be sorry, you rats.
Good stuff. That would be Miss Taro.
Ooh.
Is it not?
Tommy. No,
oh,
it's
no,
not
no,
Miss
no,
Taro.
No,
it's not Miss Taro.
I've got the film right. It's the photographer camera girl at the airport.
Yes.
She breaks the bulb, sticks it in Coral's face. Oh,
yes.
That's going to be half a mark because I didn't get it right the first time.
All right, half a mark. If anyone gets the name Annabelle Chung, that's her name from the novel as well. Very nice. I'll accept Annabelle Chung or the photographer girl, cool. Either way. But yeah, half mark for that one. Okay, so quote number 4. My loyalty to this organisation is total. I will protect it with my last breath.
Is that Rosa Klebb?
No.
Is it not?
But I'll give you a hint because this is hard. The name has come up earlier in this quiz. And it was a question that you gave me.
Let me just have a quick scan through my questions.
We'll just play some interim music while Tom checks back through the quiz. Through the question.
It's not Professor Inga Bergstrom. Is it Red Grant? No. Is it General Orlov? Fuck it, I don't know who it is then. Bollocks.
It's one that you didn't think I'd get. And it's a man. And it begins with G. Does that help you?
Guerra.
Yeah, Guerra.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Oh, no wonder you knew that then when I asked you that question.
Yeah. So it's just before. Does anyone want to challenge Guerra for a position to kill the Pale King? And when he's asked if he wants to assassinate him, he's like, "Of course, my loyalty to this organization is total." Apologies for I obviously haven't got the same soothing sexual tones that old Bernardo has, but there we go. But that was a tricky one. I'm going to give you a half mark for that one. Okay, and my final one was, is this a put-up job?
Is it Plenty or Tiffany Case?
It's a man, sorry.
Oh, all right.
I'm going to have to dial down my vocals a little bit. Is this a put-up job?
I know it somewhere.
Okay, yeah, so I'll give you a little clue. So he has just heard some information. Basically, he's talking to Bond. So he says this to Bond. Is this a put-up job?
Is it?
Yes.
Is it in the Living Daylights?
It is in the Living Daylights.
Is it?
Who said it?
John Terry's Felix Leiter.
It is John Terry's Felix Leiter. Nice. Absolutely banging. Nice one. I'll give you another half for that one because...
all right, cool.
It wasn't a thing. Is that all right?
It is indeed.
3.5. Cool. Okay.
Excellent stuff. So switching over to my quotes then. Quote number 6. You sound like a cop to me.
Is that Tiffany Case?
It certainly is. Whereabouts are they when she does it?
They're in Kirk Douglas's house by the swimming pool.
You got it. And Bond gives her a swift slap round the face.
Yeah,
says, "Who's your connection?"
He does.
He gives her a whippy
one, doesn't he? With his is it with his tie? His rolled up tie, isn't it? It's like
something like that. Yeah, something that he's got in his hand, whatever that is. Yeah. Good stuff. Question number 7. Quote number 7. The West is decadent
and divided. Is that General Orloff?
It is indeed, when he's in the big old map room. It has no stomach to our atomic reprisals.
I absolutely love it.
Yeah.
That's superb, man.
Nice.
Wicked.
Quote number 8. So good of you to come to see me, Mr. Bond, particularly on such short notice.
This one, I think it's the banker at the start of The World Is Not Enough in the pre-titles.
You think correctly. Well done.
I don't know his name.
Me either. I've just got him as the Swiss banker at the beginning of The World Is Not Enough.
Oh, wicked. All
so
right,
you're fine.
I'll nab that. Sweet.
Question number 9. You wouldn't touch that horrible girl. You wouldn't, would you?
Heaven forbid.
Oh, heaven forbid. Yeah, absolutely. It is JW's
Aki.
girlfriend, Aki. Yeah, there you go. His dream woman.
Beautiful.
Good stuff. And then question number 10. Oh, monsieur.
I actually watched. Have you seen My Dinner with Hervé yet?
I haven't yet, no.
Now, I recommend it. It is bloody good. I'm obviously going to say that is hopefully knick-knack.
It is indeed, yeah.
Yeah. So I watched My Dinner with Hervé, and it's definitely worth a watch. It's quite long, and it is quite sad, and it shows him sort of, past his prime. But there's a scene straight out of The Man with the Golden Gun, and you see obviously Roger Moore interpretation of Bond, but obviously you see Hervé. They've got a set on the beach and stuff. It's pretty cool. It's only a small bit showing the Bond, but it's a good film. So
nicely done. Can you for a bonus point? Can you tell me the line Bond says to him before?
Oh. Can you say that again?
So for a bonus point, can you tell me what Bond says to him before he says, "Oh, monsieur"?
I've never killed a midget before, but there's always a first time.
That's it. You got it. Nicely done. Yeah.
Nice. I'm not going to give myself any bonuses for that one, but that's cool.
Nicely done.
Right.
Cool. All right.
So,
you know what it is now.
It.
It's the final round, Chris. This is make or break time.
It is. This is the general knowledge round of James Bond. Now, this is tricky. This is absolutely tricky. I'm going to go with question 1. Tom, can you please tell me who is Spectre Agent number 12? Who is Spectre Agent number 12? Okay. Question 2. Which Bond film takes the longest amount of screen time before we see 007? Which Bond film takes the longest amount of screen time until we see 007? Okay. Question 3. From what film is the music heard when Bond taps in the code to enter Drax's laboratory? So from what film is the music heard when Bond taps in the code to enter Drax's laboratory? Question 4. In which 3 Bond films is Agent 009 mentioned? Now, if you can get me 2 of them, you get a half mark. If you can get all 3, you get the full mark. In which 3 Bond films is Agent 009 mentioned? Okay. And finally, question 5. In which Bond film do we see actual corpses for the first time? So, in which Bond film do we see actual corpses for the first time?
What do you mean by actual corpses?
Real dead people. Real corpses. Okay, over to you, Tori. Your face is a picture.
Actual corpses? I didn't know there was any.
All right, over to you. You might get a little hint. Don't worry about it.
All right. Okay then. So, general knowledge question number 6. Who played a suspiciously Bond-like character known only as JB in the 1983 film The Return of the Man from U.N.C.L.E.?
I think everyone listening to this better get that question. If anyone doesn't get that question, then they're not allowed to listen to the podcast.
Yeah, I'm not even going to repeat that.
Okay, fine.
Question number 7. Which singer/composer did Ian Fleming say Bond looked like? What singer/composer did Fleming say Bond looked like? Question number 8. Which actor was signed on to play Bond in Diamonds Are Forever before Connery took the job? Which actor was signed to play Bond in Diamonds Are Forever before Connery took the job? And for a bonus point, you can tell me what was different about him than anybody else who'd been booked to play Bond. Question number 9. In Forever and a Day, what is the name of the obese Corsican gangster Bond faces off against? And if you haven't read Forever and a Day, you need to get on it, because that is an absolute masterpiece. All right? Stop messing around. Go and order it right now. Pause this. Order it. Read it. Stop messing about. Question is, in Forever and a Day, what is the name of the obese Corsican gangster that Bond faces off against? And then final question of the 2018 Big Bumper Bonanza Boxing Day Bond quiz. In 1997, David Arnold released an album of Bond covers. What was it called? That is, in 1997, David Arnold released an album of Bond covers. What was it called?
Oof, there we go. Okay.
All right. How are you feeling? Are you feeling all right?
Oof, I'm not sure about this round, in all honesty, but we'll see. Okay, so question 1 of the general knowledge was, Tom, can you please tell me who is Spectre Agent number 12?
Is it Helga Brand?
Oh, that's so close, as she is number 11.
Oh.
Okay, Spectre Agent number 12 is Fatima Blush.
Oh, is she now? All right, cool.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have got that.
So, tricky one. If anyone got that, well done. General knowledge question number 2. Which Bond film takes the longest amount of screen time before we see 007?
That's an interesting one. I'm wondering... Yeah, my first guess would be Live and Let Die, because you don't see Bond in the pre-titles.
Which is a good one, but it's not right.
The guess I'm going to go with is From Russia with Love.
Absolutely. Superb.
Nice.
17 minutes and 15 seconds in. Obviously, we see the Bond impersonator, but we don't see Bond himself until way into it. So,
cool.
Brilliant. Okay, on question 3. From what film is the music heard when Bond taps in the code to enter Drax's laboratory?
That would be Close Encounters.
Of the third kind. It would indeed. Brilliant stuff. Question 4. In which 3 Bond films is Agent 009 mentioned? Now, if you get 2 of the films, you get a half mark. If you can get all 3, you get a full mark.
Octopussy?
Absolutely.
The other one is Total Guess. I'm going to go with A View to a Kill.
Not A View to a Kill.
Who's the one where he gets the necklace off in the snow at the beginning?
That's
What's he?
003.
Is it? Okay.
So you got 2 and 4 in Daylights. You got 3 in A View to a Kill. 9 we've got in Octopussy, and there are 2 other films where 009 is mentioned.
Live and Let Die?
I'll tell you what. No, not Live and Let Die. I'll tell you what. I'll give you that one of them is a Brosnan film and one of them is a Daniel Craig film.
The world is not enough. He put the bullet in Renard's head.
Yes!
Yeah.
Brilliant. Okay, so you got your half mark. Can you tell me the Daniel Craig film for a full mark?
009? Oh, of course.
Yes.
Oh, it's fucking easy, Tommy, you fucking idiot. It's Spectre, isn't it? Sorry, I anger myself, though, when I do stupid things.
It is. And can you tell me how Inspector is the name heard?
The DB10 was meant for him. It's been, reassigned to him after Bond misbehaved.
Reassigned to him and Bond next. Absolutely. Brilliant. So, yeah, you get a full mark for that one. So, again, everyone out there, if you got Octopussy, Octopussy, The World Is Not Enough, and Spectre, you get a full mark. And if you get 2 of those, you get a half mark. And if you get 1 of those, you get a pat on the back.
Nice.
Okay, final question for me then. Question 5. In which Bond film do we see actual corpses for the first time? Real dead people. Real corpses for the first time.
I've got no idea.
If I tell you that there are a lot of them that we see at the same time, in the same place, does that help?
Is it like newsreel footage or something from World War II or something that you're looking at?
No, not. Bond is close to them. It is a tricky one. It is a tricky one.
Is it?
I'm trying to think of a clue I can give you without giving it away. That's too easy. I'll give you. Okay, Bond is in North America when he sees them. That's like a generalized clue.
I don't know. Go on, give it to me.
Do you want a really big clue?
Yeah.
Okay.
Or you can just tell me the answer.
I'll tell you the film, Casino Royale.
Oh, of course. Of course it is. Yeah, the old Body Worlds exhibit. Yeah.
That's it. Yeah, sneaky question, but
that is
that's
a sneaky one. Yeah.
It's a tricky one. So there we go. So anyone who got that, the Body Worlds exhibit. Oh, sorry, the actual answer was Casino Royale. Yeah. So that's the film that we see them in. So, yeah, right. Tough one.
Nicely done. So, question number 6, general knowledge round. Who played a suspiciously Bond-like character known only as JB in the 1983 film The Return of the Man from U.N.C.L.E.?
A certain George Lazenby, perhaps.
Absolutely, it was indeed. Question number 7. What singer/composer did Fleming say that Bond looked like?
Is this Hoagie Carmichael?
It is indeed.
No. Oh.
The one and the same, Hoagie Carmichael. Question number 8. Which actor was signed on to play Bond in Diamonds Are Forever before Connery took the job?
I keep on getting all my things mixed up with this. John Gavin?
Absolutely. That was him. And tell me what was the interesting thing about him that was different than all the other people that had been signed on to play Bond?
That he was American?
Absolutely. He was a Yankee Doodle dandy. Yeah, indeed.
Dandy, cool.
All right, then number 9, penultimate question. In Forever and a Day, what is the name of the obese Corsican gangster that Bond faces off against?
I thought it just popped into my head, but it didn't. This is really tricky because I like Tom. Anyone that hasn't read this, seriously, it is a banging book. Go out and read it because it is so good.
I'm telling you this right now. Sorry to butt in. Go on. You finish what you were saying.
No. After you go.
I'm telling you this right now. Colonel Sun has always been my favourite continuation novel. I've always said that. To me, feels like I'm reading Fleming.
Yeah.
But I kid you not. I thoroughly enjoyed Trigger Mortis. I thought it was a great book. I absolutely adore Forever in a Day. That book is an absolute balls-out masterpiece. He's absolutely nailed the Fleming feel and everything. And the first chapter, I was just a ball of chills throughout the whole thing. And I kept giggling to myself and just loving every second of it. And I'm going to read it again very shortly because I love it so much.
That whole gambling scene is incredible.
In it, yeah.
It is absolutely brilliant, that scene. Yeah. But anyway, we digress. And I'm trying to digress more so I can remember it. And I know I'm not going to remember it, which is awful because it wasn't that long ago I read it. And I loved it. Does his name begin with S? His
last name does.
Okay. So it's yeah. What's the initial for his first name? Will you give me that? Oh, is it H? No. What's the first name of his first initial?
It's like a double barrel first name.
Sorry.
And then his last name that begins with this. And the initials for the double barrel is JP.
It's not Jean-Pierre. Jean-Paul. Jean-Paul Scorpio. No, Jean-Paul. 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 Oh no!
I'm going to give you half a point because basically you're so close. It's Jean-Paul Scipio.
Scipio.
Yeah.
Jean-Paul Scipio.
Yeah,
Scipio.
And you had Scorpio in your mind, which is obviously...
I know. And it was a bit of like Scorpulus from the
Scorpius,
Young Bond. Scorpius.
John Gardner, Scorpius. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. I get half of that. God, that's I wish, but it's great though, isn't it? It is a really good book.
Yeah,
really
the first time around I read the hardback copy. When I go back to it, I'm going to read it again with the audiobook in my ear holes.
Oh, nice. Yeah. Who's a narrator for the audiobook?
Good question. I can't remember. I bought it on Audible. I can't remember off the top of my head. I think it might be Matthew Good, actually.
Okay. Oh, nice.
Yeah. But yeah, that's what I'm going to do again. Okay, final question then of the 2018 Bumper Bond Bonanza Boxing Day quiz. In 1997, David Arnold released an album of Bond covers. What was it called?
I believe this was Shaken, Not Stirred.
I'm afraid you're not quite right.
Stirred, not shaken, isn't it?
Nope, it's not that either.
Shaken, not stirred. Oh, is there more to it?
Nope. You've just got it a little bit wrong.
What is it?
I'm going to give you half a point. It's shaken and stirred.
Shaken and stirred, of course it is. Shaken and stirred. I get a half, do I?
You do.
Nice, okay.
All right. So that about rounds it up. So
I do have one more bonus question for you, Tommy.
All right, give it to me.
So if you get this one, you get 2 marks. So this is worth... Oh, no, fuck it. This is worth 5 marks, Tom. 5 marks.
Jesus Christ. Yeah. Are you sure?
All right, 2 marks. 2 marks. No. Okay. I'm going to give you this bonus question.
Okay.
Can you please tell me, in Die Another Day, how long is James Bond kept in the North Korean prison for? In Die Another Day, how long is Bond kept in the North Korean prison for?
Is it 9 months? 12 months? 13 months? 14 months.
14 months! Absolutely! I could see that was on the tip of your tongue. I'm going to give you a half mark for that, which means you actually get 1 mark. So,
all
brilliant. Right. So are we going to play the incidental music again while we add up all the scores?
Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it.
Okay. Wait a minute, are you adding yours and I'm adding mine, or vice versa?
Yeah. I'm adding mine and you're adding yours.
Okay, cool. It's very hard to multitask, isn't it?
It is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh no, hold on.
Sorry, everyone. Can you do the tune of 67 Casino Royale for me, please?
This is awful podcasting, isn't it? Okay. 3 plus. Sorry. Oh, fucking hell. So I'm really not good with counting, Chris. It has to be said.
All right, I've counted mine twice, and it is the same both times. So, everybody, how did you do? We hope you did well, everyone out there. Obviously, we've got... we'll just go through the rounds again. So we've got Sean Connery, all the Bonds, Lazenby, Moore, Dalton, Brosnan, Craig. You have 10 questions on each of those. Then we've got Fleming and the novels, the music of Bond, guess the quote, and the general knowledge. So that's 10 questions in total for each of those, plus the bonus Die Another Day question will get you 2 marks if you get that right. We want to know what you got in total out of 100. So before we say what Tom and I have got, I'm going to go through the rankings again. So if you got between 0 and 9, you can choose either Stampa or the Log Cabin Girl from The Spy Who Loved Me. If you got between 10 and 19, you could be either Gobinder or Miss Taro. 20 and 29, you can choose Dario or the machine gun wielding old lady from Goldfinger. 30 to 39, you could be either Necros or Valenka. 40 to 49, you could be Hinks or Helga Brandt. 50 to 59, Knick-Knack or Naomi. 60 to 69, either Winton Kid or Bambi and Thumper. 70 to 79, either Teehee, Baron Samrandy or Irma Bunt. 80 to 89, Red Grant or Fiona Volpe. 90 to 95, either Jaws, Xenia Onatop or Fatima Blush. And finally, if you got between 94 and 100, either Oddjob or Mayday. Absolutely.
Very nice. Good stuff. So should we reveal our scores then, Chris?
Let's do it, Tommy.
Because obviously what we're doing, because we come up with half of the questions each, what we do to give a roundabout score prediction, because obviously we can't do it because we made up half the questions, is we take our score out of 50 and then we double it as a rough prediction of what we would have got if we'd have done all 100 questions, if that makes any sense at all. So I'm going to go first because I can more or less guarantee that I've come in second place as I usually do. I got 34.5 out of 50.
Let's round that up to 35 then, and then double that.
Well,
okay.
Well, we've done half marks, so I don't think we should.
No, that's fine. Yeah. Okay.
So 34.5 doubled is my favourite number, 69. That's why I didn't want to round it up. Because I'd have missed out on that wonderful opportunity.
And you get an awesome choice between Winton Kid or Bambi and Thumper, or can you get all four? Is that allowed?
That sounds wonderful. I'm going to take Winton Kid, though. I'm happy with that.
Yeah. Okay. Maybe you spend the day with Winton Kid going out and frolicking and having fun, and then the night time with Bambi and Thumper getting down and dirty.
Yeah, that sounds good to me. Okay. I'm up for that. Yeah,
sweet. Well, I've been very lucky in this particular bumper Boxing Day quiz. There was one extra special mark you gave me, which I've included. So I don't know if I should have included that, but you did give it to me, so I did take it. I hope that's okay.
That's fine.
But I ended up getting 46. So when I double it, it's 92. So I get to choose between Jaws, Xenia on the top, or Fatima Blush.
That's nice.
But if you'll repay me the favour, I'll say hello to Jaws. I'll spend the day with Fatima Blush and Xenia on the top, and I'll spend the night with Fatima Blush and Xenia on the top. And then,
very nice.
And then Jaws can pop in to say hi at the end. What do you think?
I tell you what, though, that if you were to have
that
a choice,
combination.
I mean Xenia and Fatima, that's going to push some boundaries in the possibilities.
You'll come out ruined, but loving it. Like literally, I think there's that scene. I can't remember what film it is, and the guy. Anyway, never mind. We won't go there. But he comes out trained. Anyway, that is a night to remember, isn't it?
In it,
Xenia, Fatima. And a bit of fun.
The thing that stands out for me, God bless her, is Fatima when she's water skiing, that wonderful outfit she's got on there.
So good.
That is a very special thing.
The only thing I would say is you'd have an amazing, like one of the best nights of your life, but I think your chances of survival would be somewhere between 0 and half of a percent. I think that's your life over, isn't it? That's the way you're going to go.
I think the way you would survive with Xenia is if you went in with the knowledge of what she's going to try and do, which is obviously try and squeeze you with the odd thighs. Yeah. You would, poor old Chuck Farrell, bless him, he doesn't know what's going on. He's like, this is great, and then he's obviously caught off guard. If you went in there primed that, okay, I'm going to do this, but I am also going to have to fight for my life at the same time, I think you could potentially come out okay. I mean, if you think of the sauna scene, Bond throws her over the head, lands on the ground and all that kind of stuff. I feel like you could potentially hold your own whilst you got the job done and then come out okay. You would be battered and bruised for sure, but might survive.
What if Fatima is part of the equation at the same time?
Then that's probably a zero chance of survival.
I mean, literally.
But what a beautiful way to go.
Absolutely. So you might not see me anymore, but you know that I've had a good life.
There you go. Congratulations. So there we have it. So let us know what your score was. We want to know. Put it in the old Facebook comments underneath this, or over on the website. Put it in the comments there. But there we have it. Our 4th year of podcasting coming to a close, coming up to the 5th anniversary. What a wonderful time it's been. Reflecting on 2018 as a Bondian year, Chris, have you got any favourite moments?
Well, it's been an interesting year, hasn't it? Particularly, obviously, the main thing for us fans is Bond 25, and obviously we got a date. Yeah, and we're like, yes, and we got Danny Boyle, and we're like, oh wow, this could be interesting. And then it sort of disappeared a little bit. Obviously, Danny Boyle walked off, and then the date got pushed back, and we're like, what's going on? It's now 2020. We're gonna have to wait. Yeah. And then obviously we hear about Kerry Fukunaga, and we think, oh, hang on a minute. Okay, I've obviously seen a couple of things he's done, but let's find out a bit more about this chap. And then we're like, oh, okay, now we're talking. We've got the date. Obviously, it's a little bit longer. It's not going to happen next year. But yeah, it's been an interesting year. It's been a bit topsy-turvy from that side of things. But in terms of the meetups we've had, the JBR meetups, in terms of like just the general sort of JBR comments online and social media, and everyone getting their business and everything like that, I think it's been brilliant and absolutely loved it. And I think relationships, they sometimes go through rocky patches where you're not quite sure where things are heading, and you get sort of people that will have the pessimistic view and think, well, should I get out now? You know, maybe it's just going to get worse. And then you have the people that are like, well, let's hang in there. When we started out together, there was a love there and there was a passion. So it's got to still be there somewhere. And I think if we believe, we can stick with it.
Yeah.
And I think us as Bond fans have had to make that decision and kind of take that journey. And I think the majority of us have remembered that passion and sticking with it, and are now hellishly looking forward to loads of Bond events in 2019. But obviously, early 2020 is the time where we get our rewards. Sort of
I tell you what, though, what is exciting to me is there seem to be a lot more things coming out of the woodwork in coming months. So obviously we've got the Secret Cinema Casino Royale next year.
Excited for that, man. Excited.
We've got the second Royal Albert Hall thing with Skyfall next year, which is great to look forward to.
Amazing.
They've just announced the new Bond museum exhibit thing in New York that's opening next year as well. So there seems to be a lot of things coming out, which is great. It's like we've always said, isn't it? Like there's nothing for Bond fans to do between films. It would be lovely for there to be more events and more things going on. And there seems to be that stuff going on now. So that's really exciting to carry us through that extra delay for February 2020. Now, with all that said, there has been that rumour recently from Baz Bambig Boy from the old... is he Daily Mail or Daily Express?
Daily Mail, yeah.
Daily Mail.
I think so.
And let's face it, Bambig Boy, I feel like Bambig Boy is... I remember I used to read Bambig Boy. He
must love it, mustn't he? He must love it.
Yeah,
like,
he gets...
If we were in his position, we'll be like, oh, come on.
Old Bambig Boy, he's obviously... When there's a leak, it's not really a leak. It's a, let's leak this to Bambig Boy and he will put it out and it will be this exclusive thing. So he put out, obviously, recently that Léa Seydoux is going to be back for Bond 25.
Yes.
So I'm fairly certain to say that it's a cold, hard, done, in the bag truth.
Yep.
Versus other rumours where you're like, I'll wait and see. I think if it's Bambig Boy, you can safely say that that's
got a lot more credence.
Yeah, absolutely. Definitely. So that puts a big smile on my face because I've gone through a journey with the Bond 25 journey, as have we all, where it seemed at one point we were like, they just have to do the Garden of Death thing. They have to do the final showdown with Blofeld. It's just got to be done. And then obviously it's wandered over here where it was Danny Boyle and it was like, oh no, that's not happening anymore, blah, blah, blah. And it's this Russian dude or whatever. And it was like, oh, fuck, okay, so maybe they are doing this total standalone story, which a lot of people do want, you know? Yeah, a lot of people do want, and that's fair enough if that's what you want. But for me, no. I want that final showdown. The fact that Léa Seydoux is in it tells me Blofeld has to come back in some way, shape or form now. If Léa Seydoux is in it, there has to be some Blofeldian involvement. What shape or form that's going to take, I don't know. Part of me hopes that Christopher Walken is never even mentioned. They don't wheel him out. Nothing happens, right? We don't know. And then he just shows up randomly in the film. That will get my Bond boner at full mast if that happens.
Totally.
That's my thought. That's my prediction. That's my feeling. My other prediction and feeling is that Léa Seydoux does not make it through to the end of Bond 25. She's getting done at some point, bumped off, whether that's pre-titles, whether that's early or mid, but she's going.
Yeah, well, she'll have to go, won't she? But a lot of people are thinking, well, maybe this is the pre-titles, you know, where she comes back, everything's okay, gets bumped off straight away, going into the next part of the story. But like you said, it might not be that. It might be later on into the film. So it'll be interesting, really interesting to see how that goes. And again, next year, again, we're going to start to get a lot more of this little tidbits coming out, and it's going to be brilliant, and we're going to love it. Get the rumour mill going, and obviously we'll have lots of chat around that. But obviously we're doing a few meetups as well. But one of the things I think we have to mention about next year, which is going to be insane, is Operation Bedlam.
Oh, good God, yeah!
Talk to me about it, Tommy. Yeah. Talk to me about it.
Yeah, I can't believe I didn't mention that just now. Yeah, obviously June, 50th anniversary of Majesty's. The world of bondage coming together at Peace Gloria. We've got George himself is going to be there. Everybody in the world of Bond fandom is going to be there. You got Cue the Music playing at the top of the mountain right there. You know, it's just, I can't imagine. So what, we had a message from JW recently, didn't we, saying, oh, you know, I was thinking about coming to the Majesty's thing, but I think I've got some other plans. I might go somewhere else. I wrote back a little bit furious, didn't I? I said, look, that's still going to be there next year. Wherever you else decide to get, it's still going to be there. There's only ever going to be one Bond on Her Majesty's 50th anniversary. He needs to get involved. And we've still not heard from him, have we? In which way he's gone with that.
We'll sort it out. We'll
he needs to get involved with that. But yeah, I mean, that is an absolute life changer, isn't it? And obviously we're going to stick around afterwards and do some more locations. There's, Goldfinger locations, there's GoldenEye locations and all sorts of stuff going on. Casino locations. So that's going to be an absolute belter. That is just, it's great. And that's something we've always said, isn't we? We'll have to make it to Peace Glory for the 50th anniversary. We said that since day one of the podcast. So, it's finally rolled around pretty quick, actually.
It has, it has. And maybe Valentine's Day 2020 will roll around pretty quickly as well. Who knows?
Yeah, absolutely. I hope it's a bloody good one.
Yeah, it will. Right. There we are.
Good stuff, everybody.
Yep.
So, thank you for joining us in another year of bondage. It's been a pleasure servicing you, and we hope to service you for many years to come. We hope you got all the presents that you wanted from Father Christmas. Let us know what Bondian gifts you got on the Facebook and on the Twitters and all that kind of stuff, and on the Instagrams. And we will be back in the new year with some more Bondian goodness.
We will indeed. So I hope you enjoyed the quiz, everyone. Let us know your scores. Show us your Christmas presents. Hope you're having a good time. Have an amazing new year. And here's to 2019, James Bond style.
Absolutely. We'll see you in the new year, everybody.
Bye. Bye.